things to it. There's like, we have to subscribe to an alarm system on the phone. So basically that's what wakes the device and makes periodically checks to make sure it's connected to Tor. We also have to do a forgo process, which basically means that it's running in the background. But like, how do you do that without killing someone's battery, right? So now that the phones have advanced enough to where you can do these processes in the background, it doesn't kill your battery. That's what makes it effective, right? Because if back in the day, no one would even want to try it because it would kill your battery like really quickly because you're basically, constantly connected to this into the network. But now it just functions with very little battery use. But I think the reason why nobody has attempted to do this is because they want metadata. They want to have that control, right? Some countries
they want to serve you an ad when you type in a brand or something on WhatsApp.
100% true.
Yeah, exactly.
So talk to me about the server client model. Why that's more efficient for battery versus, sending it client to client.
Okay, so basically what I was trying to say is like the reason why this hasn't been attempted, I believe one of the reasons is because it wasn't like resource useful, right? So like back in the older operating systems, it had to use a different methodology to actually subscribe to the Tor process, and so it would drain the battery quickly, right? So now that the new operating systems have evolved, we're able to figure out a way through a forgo processing that basically doesn't kill the battery, and that's basically what I'm getting at with that. But it functions just like, a VPN, for example, right? So you do a VPN on your phone, it's constantly connected to the VPN network, which is basically you're relying upon another server, and it's encrypted. But I think most VPNs are not safe because you're basically putting your hands to that person. Our model is like trust nobody, right? So the only person that you're trusting is the person that's on the other end of the thing, which we've also enabled tons of features. Like, for example, you have to add each other to even communicate. You cannot communicate with somebody that's not in your friends list that you both have authenticated during the add friend feature. So to give you an example of how this works and how we're able to actually have a contact system that you can pull from somewhere without it being on a server. So what we did is we enabled, the blockchain enablement of the IPPFS, I think it is. And basically it's the file storage, decentralized file storage that people use. So when you first create an account, right, what it'll do is it encrypts, your Tor. So you get your own private Tor.onion address. That's how the device communicates.
And Tor.onion is not the dark web, but it's like a encrypted internet portal, basically, right?
So Tor is what is used to connect to the dark web. That is correct. So it has, it has its good uses and it has its bad uses. But a little fun fact, I think in 1997, the U.S. Naval Center actually is the one that came up with, basically the idea for Tor. And then somebody else, kind of ran off with it.
Yeah, forgetting the dark web name, all it is just an encrypted internet connection.
Yeah. So it's like that's why they call it Onion Router, because it works like like onions. There's a bunch of layers, and so your traffic gets thrown through a whole different bunch of nodes. But that's also a problem though, because you're using there's entry nodes. So when you first connect to Tor, and then there's exit nodes, right? And then there's a bunch of nodes in between there. Well, a lot of times people don't realize that just because they're on Tor, they're not really safe. So you have to trust the entry node and the exit node. So let's say, for example, this organization is running both at the same time. They can correlate where that first initial traffic is coming from. And if the data on that comes out the end, they're going to be able to correlate together. But what we're doing is we did not develop, but we're using a private client. So basically it's going from me straight to that person. And there's, no other people you have to worry about for like exit nodes and things like that.
Got it. So I gotta, okay, so let's break into this. And I'm not trying to sound like skeptical or anything like that. I really am think that you guys are super smart and you might be building something special here. Mm-hmm. Here's where Telegram ran into issues. Is Pavel lives in France. In France, the legislature there or the whatever the court system there said, hey, we want to look into the messages of drug dealers, national security threats, something like that. Pavel said no, and he kept saying no. And then one day he ended up going to an airport, and someone threw him in a back room and said, okay, you're in jail for 6 months until you say yes. Or the app stores will remove you from Telegram from the app store. Like that was kind of the trade-off, is like you do this or you get removed from the app store. How do you kind of navigate those like centralization risks, both from a personal standpoint, but also like, your app is in the app store, and couldn't Google just get,
So yeah, perfect. I've been asked this a lot, right? So basically, well, to be completely blunt, hold on, sorry about that. To be completely blunt with you, like if I have to go to jail over something I believe in, that's totally fine. But to answer it, hopefully without that, is the reason why we're using Android is because it has the ability to download APKs, right? So you can go to the website and you could download an APK and you can circumvent if you wanted to the Play Store and Apple, right? So when these new laws come out in certain areas, I don't agree with them, but obviously people need to follow whatever's right. They can still go to the website and download the APK if they want through Android. It's the way we developed it is that there's no way to do any like backdoors or collect any information. Like it's just not possible. Also, I've released the whole entire source code to GitHub, so it's already out there. Like the whole entire like special protocol everything's out there. And I did a special license, which means people can build on it, they can use it. They just can't use it for commercial. I don't want people to use it. Basically, what I'm trying to do is like take back our freedom to privacy without having these corporations control it, because there's a reason why a lot of these corporations, all of them are getting millions and billions of dollars worth of funding, because they're basically following what they're supposed to follow. I've already done plenty of research, and
Snowden tried to warn us that a decade ago.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely like he's a decent guy. But yeah, I definitely done my research to make sure that, hey, I'm not going to get in trouble for this. But at the same time, I just want to stand up for what's right. And
look, I agree with you. I think if you're a law-abiding citizen, you should be able to communicate, without people or servers kind of scraping data and stuff like that. And especially with the rise of AI, it's like, what is being used for training purposes? What is, being, if your message is being scooped up in some sort of, sweep of sorts, like it is a problem, and it's going to become more and more acute of a problem, I think, in the future. Okay, so there's a market for this, no doubt. People do care about this.
Diving back into that subject a little bit, there's really nothing to subpoena. The way that it's designed, there's no server that you can actually grab a hold of or physically enter a data center and rip it out. There's nothing like that. So sure, it might piss people off a little bit, but the way that it's designed is for ultimate privacy. So just a little bit of information there for people who aren't so technical, and why it's not possible to subpoena something like that is because it just simply doesn't exist.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, there's more things, like as far as like, maybe like even with the website, we don't collect any of the traffic, but if there ever was something, they could probably find out from like the people we host the website from, like who are the traffic to that website. That's basically the extent of anything would be.
So I need to also pause here, because we were talking to Perkins Fund, or THRT, and I believe this conversation was a referral from that. He was working on something where you could like send a file, and his thing would read the file, and then back reference it against other file or other known viruses on the internet to like tell you if it's safe or not before you download it. Is that in your app? Like, is that have you guys worked together, or?
Yeah. So he's actually a great guy. Where he audited our code at the very beginning. It's also, we have formed some partnerships with him. One of them is to integrate the ability to send files, because originally when I developed this, I wanted it to be just like messaging only. And then I did add voice clips, so you could do voice clips, and it sounds great. And then I was like, trying to figure out, well, there's a problem with sending files and or sending photos, for example. It's like a lot of people don't know that if you download a photo to your PC, it can have a wall drainer embedded into the actual photo. You don't even have to like be a file. So how do we develop something that could like protect that? So my answer was, before I knew Perkins, I was like, there is nothing right now. I know. So we basically excluded that from the app. But then after the audit and after we formed some type of a partnership with him, we are in the works of enabling the ability to basically break down files into hashes and uploading those and having those scanned with the software he developed. Also today we just reached another partnership, and what we're doing is we're taking his 402 that he built, and this is really cool because I'm going to do this in the next couple of days. Is basically inside of the encrypted messaging, like threads, you go in there to one of your contacts. On the left, you can actually click and you can do request money or send money. And so it's going to function a lot like Apple Pay, to where you can actually send somebody, a request, and it expires, and it's all verified using, many facilitators. So it's really cool to have that inside of the messaging. You can send some crypto very easily through basically an invoicing system. So that's something he developed, and we're going to be basically converting it to Rust and using that in the app itself.
Got it. So I guess what I really liked about what you said, you mentioned that because of the way it was built, from a legal standpoint, there's nothing that they can do about it. It kind of reminds me of MetaMask, when the U.S. government sent MetaMask a thing to say, hey, look, you have to you got to sell people's funds, you got to close up shop, and they're like, look, this is decentralized. This isn't us. This is just a tool that's out there. So this is kind of similar in that way for you guys.
Yeah,
it's just a tool that's out there for
users. It's definitely out there. It's published on the GitHub. It's like basically, in a way, it's like when you publish something like that, it's out there. Like there's no like reversing it. Like once somebody says, okay, this is exactly how you do it step by step, it's like a virus in a way. It's just gonna if they try to take me down, someone else is gonna use it. So and plus we're not charging for that. We want this to be completely free. But I noticed you were looking at the website. We are in the process of actually rebranding the website. I did finish the complete rebranding for the app. If you look at our X, you can see some previews of the new look. I just think it's like so much better. So that's going to be submitted to the upcoming hackathon. We're going to do that. And then we're also going to do there's another Solana one where they're doing like an audit, which is kind of cool. It's a bounty. So we're going to do that. And then we have, a couple big things in play as far as, submissions to the Play Store. So, we were going to submit that right away probably, but now that we're going to submit to the actual hackathon, we're going to do it at the same exact time. because we're adding a couple things for the hackathon. They want to have, or they would like to see like Zcash enabled, which, you know, makes total sense to have, you know, a privacy token within the app itself. So I've already added Zcash to the code base. So just doing some testing on that, but yeah, definitely excited, you know, for this. And yeah, we've been working tirelessly. Like, I probably, no joke, sleep 3 hours a day if I'm lucky, since the start of this project. And so I'm really dedicated and motivated to make this, you know, something really big. We also have a bunch of publications coming up in some major news outlets. So this is unique because this is actually a product that is going to be just beyond the means of you know, crypto. And so originally when I built this, I was like, you know, making somebody like go through a whole like crypto wallet process. But then I was like, well, if we get in the Play Store and, you know, somebody's like, I don't want to, you know, to get involved in crypto, it's just going to limit ourselves to who we could like have this app for. So now it's anybody can use the app, and so it has a wallet built in it, but it's more kind of like as a back feature, not like the main focus. And the messaging has the main focus. So when someone's like using it all the time, they're like, oh, what's this crypto wallet? And it's going to get them into crypto more because of the introduction through the messenger.
I would agree. And comparing it to MetaMask and their self-custody model, it's the exact same thing. It's a self-custody messaging app. So it's kind of the same.
And I'm looking through your Twitter. I'm just kind of I'm also we pulled up some tweets because you mentioned about the sleep, and I noticed that you guys had reposted this tweet about you know how you didn't really get much sleep. You're probably averaging 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night. So we love a hardworking dev.
Yeah, dude, it's like, people don't really like understand or realize like the sacrifices, you know, devs make when they're actually doing projects like this. I mean, like, just a lot of stuff. Like, I literally had to break up with my girlfriend because she just wanted too much attention and I have to lock in. And she doesn't understand that, like, when I'm locked in, I'm locked in. Like, I don't have time to cuddle, I don't have time to do anything, go to the movies. Like, that's not on the table, you know. Like, locking in this project, I have a lot of people who are like relying upon me that put a lot of money into this project.
Hey, man, make sure you take care of your relationships. You know, we don't advocate for you know, losing relationships over stuff. But
yeah,
no,
definitely. Yeah, but the sacrifice is there though. This is a big picture, in my opinion. So sometimes it's necessary to make sacrifices.
Hey, gotta make it happen. So I do have a question on how many users you have. Sorry, Chill, do you have a?
Yeah, real quick before we leave that. So on that note of, you know, this is kind of big. Just I want to get a little. I saw you guys reposted this tweet from Vitalik, and he also talked about encrypted messaging. So I want to just give us a sense of the big picture. Like, what's the big vision here? What are you going after? And why is it so important that it's something that's even coming up? You know, even from, you know, Vitalik's side. I saw you guys retweeted that.
Yeah, so definitely. So if you look at what he said, I'm not reading it just based off my memory. You know, he said that there's, you know, room for improvements, and he was like basically impressed with the way those apps are going. And so he was really like wanting an app to develop something that's, you know, basically super metadata resistant, and have a basically completely private sign up process. And so the reason why we were like, you know, rating that post was because we're like, hey, it's not the future. We built it. This is what we have. This is what the ping pong protocol has allowed us to actually do. So, you know, the reason why you rate anybody is for marketing, right? You want to get eyes on the project. You know, that's the reason why we kind of did a crypto token, is because obviously I'm in the crypto space from the beginning, but it's also for marketing. You get eyes on the project, you get eyes on the app. And so it works both ways. So once the app is like published, then it's going to reverse the effect. So it's going to be like people who are using the app are going to notice the actual token in the project. So it's kind of like, you know, fits together in a way. So attacking somebody who has that much influence that just donated millions of dollars to an app that, you know, still has issues, I think, you know, it's kind of a no-brainer as far as, you know, getting someone like that's attention. Also, we've been trying to get, you know, Foley and Mert and a couple other guys' attention since day one. So I just noticed they extended the hackathon, and I'm like, well, this is a perfect opportunity to have them look at our code base, because we're going to be submitting it to the hackathon. You know,
Got it. And so you guys have this product that you've built. There's a huge problem in the products that are already out there on the market, as identified by Vitalik here. And so you solved that problem. You're building an app. You're going to the hackathon. I even saw here that you guys received you know, some funding as well. I believe it was in this tweet here. But I mean, I think Josh.
That's not funding. Sorry, that's the other hackathon. There's two of them. That one's on the 9th. That's a submission to Solana, and that's an audit company. And there's like big backers and investors that are going to be there. But that's another hackathon. So we haven't had any funding. Everything has been through, like, you know, the tokenomics and just through my personal funds. Got you. But still, you guys are looking for ways to get the code base audited, get everything verified. So I mean, it seems like you guys have a really nice community here. I saw some of them were active in the chat. We're getting kind of rated here a little bit. I think Josh had a really good question around users that kind of reflect that.
Yeah, we have a few minutes left to go here, and I just want to talk about the token. I don't think the app is live yet, so you don't have any users yet. Is that correct? Yeah, so the app, we have the beta out there. We have probably about 30-40 people in the beta group that have actually tested it and used it. So we do have the beta version with APK, and that's the extent of it. But when it gets on the How did people join the beta?
So they DM me on X, but we did post about it with a link in the past. But anybody that wants to try or go to the website, and you can just download the app directly right now and install it to your Android. It's on the website as well.
Got it. And do you invite your friends by like putting their email in, or what?
No,
How do you get your
no,
friends?
yeah,
It's always
yeah.
good to message someone, right?
So when the whole process, when you create a contact card, it uploads it to the decentralized storage, and then it gives you a CID, which is basically your contact ID number, and then a PIN. So we did something really cool where it enables 2 forms of authentication, because the decentralized storage, if somebody got lucky and they found it's fully encrypted, they couldn't download that file and then install it without your PIN. So you give the CID to somebody, and then the PIN to that person, and then when they do that, you get a friend request on your phone, and
GMCG. I'm just gonna add chill up.
Yo, yo.
Fix
GM, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Welcome back to another show here at MCG. Looks like we got a great market. Looks like we got some bounces in play, some strong charts, looking good. So excited to go through these charts with you guys. Looking forward to a great show. We have some guests. We have some guests coming on today. Looking forward to that interview as well. But outside of that, I guess first, Josh, we can start off with macro. But how's it going? How's the day? How's the week been so far?
Yeah, up only candles. Good names running across my watch list here, and yeah, I mean, seeing Sol pumping, which is good. Sorry, I gotta remove. All right, there we go.
So
right from that demand zone yesterday.
Yep, that's literally where we're pumping from. We talked about this yesterday. Look, I don't personally. I think we have some consolidation here. Maybe we pump and form like a high this over here, then come back down. Who really knows exactly what we're gonna do here, but just a couple areas to be aware of. Let me just point out. So first, we know that we've been talking about this demand zone for a very, very, very long time. So far, getting some finally finding some buyers. Buyers are stepping in, bulls are defending this area. So that's a really good indication. I still want to be wary that although we have bounced, again, we're still pretty bearish on all higher time frames. Monthly looks bearish, weekly looks bearish, but kind of turning here. 3-day, again, kind of turning, but overall the downtrend is the prevailing trend, right? Sellers are predominantly in control. However, when we go to the 12-hour, I saw this SFP yesterday and charted this out. Wanted to see if see how that was going to go, but looking good here. We had a nice little SFP on the 12-hour. This is a really good indication of a reversal. Just don't really know how long this will last, how long this will hold up. We've had SFPs on the 12-hour before, and they haven't really played out the way that it usually does. Like we saw one right here. That didn't play out. We even saw one right here. That didn't play out, but we see one right here and it's playing out. So we just have to kind of see what works, what doesn't. So far on the lower time frames, we're seeing some signs of a reversal. But overall, the prevailing kind of thought process in the market has been everyone is looking for that lower high, right? Everyone's looking for that complacency shoulder, that pump that inevitably will get rejected and will sell off and begin a bear market. You can see that here. I really love Honey XBT's work, but this is essentially what she's looking for. If you look here on the chart, she's kind of comparing this break of trend to the break of trend in 2022 and, retesting the trend via a pump and then selling off into a bear market. So that's exactly what she thinks that we could is on the table. We broke this trend. We're going to pump into the trend retest and then sell off into a bear market. So I think I think people are long, but they're only locally long up until these like flash crash lows, this like 100K area. Honestly, this is a market where we have to take it level by level. All high time frames are bearish. Lower time frames are showing some signs, but nothing, nothing convincing nothing convincing just yet. With that in mind, though, let's see here. With that in mind, let me look at Solana. Solana pumping very nicely here off the bottom. So we tapped this monthly support, double tapped it here. Honestly, the Solana chart is looking a lot like the Solana chart is actually looking a lot like the Fartcoin chart. And this is something that I kind of been watching, but I haven't said anything about just yet, simply because I didn't really know if this would play out. But you see this down channel here into a deep demand zone. Look at Fartcoin, and let's look at a lower time frame on Fartcoin real quick. Man, look at this. And I think I got a post scheduled to come out in any moment highlighting this. But you see this down channel, and we tap this monthly support, and we just break through. We talked about this yesterday. Clean setup here, bouncing off the retest of the downtrend, and bang, straight into a market structure break, and we're off to the races. So continue to be bullish on Fartcoin. I've been banging the table on this. People have been telling me, "Oh my God, you're Fartcoin. Why can't we just let it die?" It won't die, bro. I'm sorry to tell you, it won't die. GM Top Fumbler, good to see you as always. Yeah, so there you have it. Fartcoin is looking good, but really,
what do you think? What do you think about Pump breaking the downtrend?
It hasn't yet. It hasn't broken it yet. Oh wow! This just happened then. This just happened then. Okay, so we're not quite out of the woods on Fartcoin just yet. Let me look at the 2-day. No, I think the daily is a much better view. Yep. So when you look at the daily, like still in a very like deep demand zone here with Pump, still respecting this downtrend so far. So we haven't gotten a clean breakout yet, but if the rest of the market is any indication, I mean, off this bounce, a lot of alts are performing well. We saw Solana's up 10%, huge move. Met is up 10% almost on the day, and I just posted about this yesterday, talking about how this was undervalued under 30 cents, which it absolutely is, and it's almost like a double bottom here, very very close to it. If you really kind of front ran the support, but looking good here for Fartcoin, up 10%. We have looking here good for Met, up 10%. Then we have Fartcoin, obviously up 15%. Massive numbers there. But you notice the downtrend happening on Fartcoin, then the breakout. Look at the Solana chart. Same thing. Downtrend, except Fartcoin is almost kind of showing the path ahead for Solana in many ways. So, downtrend. Now we've tapped a double bottom. I wouldn't be surprised to see Solana pivot into a full-on trend reversal. Wouldn't be surprised.
So I'm going to go back to sharing this real quick. This is just the Pump revenues. I think these are, again, a good barometer of general on-chain strength. So separate out that this is even specific to Pump Fund as a token. I think this is a good barometer of strength. Not bad. I mean, still $1 million in fees. These fees are at the middle point, I would say, of the height of the kind of market in over the summer. So if you were to ask me, looking at this data, do I still think on-chain is healthy? I would say this doesn't look like a bear market to me. In 2022, a true bear market, all volumes really dropped off really quite drastically on Solana, almost to zero.
I don't think we see the same bear market that we saw before. I with the access to on-chain activity, the access to crime, and the relentless desire to gamble from degens, right? Remember, like like on chain is almost like an addiction for some people, right? Like they need something.
Ain't that the truth?
It's like they need something to ape, like they need something to go into. So realize that although yes, there could be a form of a bear market, I would argue we've been in a bear market this for the most part of this year. And actually, there's a quick tweet that I wanted to bring up to kind of like bring this point home.
GM Jeet Sparrow, GM
Jeet Sparrow, GM bro. Base God here says it's really interesting. No one is considering we've been in a bear market for almost a year already, and that 4-year cyclers are wrong. And the left tail cycle thesis, which put the top end of 2024, was right. If you've been here all year and it's not your first rodeo, it's felt like a bear market trading for most of it. Absolutely. And these charts literally exemplify this whole thing. You know, we saw ETH and Bitcoin go up, but as mentioned here, I think this is a great point. This could have just been propped up by the ETF and DAT flows, right? But it has felt like a bear market this entire year to some extent. And that's why I don't think the bear markets of the future will quite look the same of as these like minus 80%, you know, moves down across the board. You know, maybe to some extent they, you know, we'll see prices go down, but I don't think this market is maturing. I think we're at a point now where, you know, the market is in a different place and the access to on chain is different. That's the key there. People will gamble. There's Rambo, literally point right there. There's always a bull market somewhere. There's always opportunity. Ownership coins will make AI meta look like child's play. Absolutely. 100,000%. 100,000%. There will always be opportunities on chain. So I think bear markets will look a little different now with things like ownership coins, with things like sword tokens. I mean, what happens when companies are getting merged because of their technology in a bear market? Maybe it's a bear market for crypto, but as we've seen, stocks are at all-time highs and making new highs, right? So I think bear markets will look a little bit different here moving forward.
And if you guys have any tickers, Rambo, that you want us to look at, please drop them in the chat. We got 12 minutes before our next segment, but yeah, I mean, we need more ICM tickers launching. Let's just say that. There's not a lot to talk about. All charts look the same. We cover a lot of the same things every week in the ICM landscape. So we're always looking for new ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, charts in general. Like, let me know what you have. Let me know what you guys want us to look at. Speaking of ICM, though, interesting news that came out this morning. And here we see Walter Bloomberg. He says SEC expects crypto exemption in a month or so. Apparently, Paul Atkins says that this could be released in a month. He noted that progress was delayed by the shutdown, but confirmed that the SEC is back on track and aims to support crypto innovation after years of resistance. Atkins also said the SEC plans to introduce new policies next year designed to improve market conditions for IPOs. Crazy. So I think, you know, again, there's still a ton of opportunity out there. I think the narrative around ICM continues to be, continues to take shape and strengthen over time. I even talked about I put out a tweet, I believe it was yesterday, about something like this, but you know, let me actually see if I can find it here real quick. Here it is. Ownership coins are the future. We see MetaDAO. MetaDAO's, to me, is kind of like the Web3 native solution. Launch on Source, sort of like the Web2 native solution, where you have other models like Street and Salutary working on their own unique sort of token standards. Either way, we see, despite like a quote unquote potential bear market in 2024, you know, ICM builders continue to build out. And I think this is the important part here. What's exciting about this is we don't know what token standard or model will work. I'm just happy to see this space get to a place where we genuinely want to create something valuable and not just extract from investors. So what happens? What happens when VCs, liquid funds, realize that the types of crypto investments they've been looking for have been here all along, right? Like what happens when, this whole discussion around, oh my gosh, what makes a token innately valuable? What happens when that that answer has been ICM the way the direction it's going in right now? That's going to be a huge unlock for the space, and that coupled with the narrative around ICM, coupled with the SEC's direction and regulatory clarity around crypto innovation in the US, that will not only be a big US native thing, but it'll also extend out to the world as other parts of the world try to figure out how they want to approach crypto innovation. So just wanted to point that out because we have there's a few tickers here that we'll kind of get into as well that I wanted to discuss with you guys. But that kind of lays lays the groundwork for this discussion. It just shows that hey, this is a lot happening here. There's a lot going on here. All right, so let's go to a couple tickers. First, I actually want to go to Loyal here. I want to go to Loyal here first. We talked about Loyal a little bit yesterday. And shout out Decentralized or Die. He actually sent me the link to the thread that we were trying to find yesterday. We found one of them, but the link that he sent me was actually to his sort of mega thread. And I think that's exactly what we need to look at. So here is his mega thread. Let me pull it up for you guys. But here's a chart on Loyal. Yesterday, we were talking about this floor price. This was kind of like this risk-free zone. And we were approaching that yesterday. And yesterday, I'm like, well, if they're going to be buying back 1.5 million at a price of, basically almost 24 cents, this is a floor price. This is risk-free. And so we see it bouncing off that exact risk-free zone. So what is Loyal? So here it is. Loyal is a private AI computation infrastructure. You can think of this as an application layer, network of oracles enabling on-chain apps and users to access verifiable private AI computations. The chain link of private AI compute. That's actually pretty crazy. I kind of like that. So basically, you're betting on infrastructure, but like we talked about, 1.5 million bucks of buybacks, which is apparently 60% of the supply, basically protecting the floor. And because this was a proposal, this was decided on by all token holders. So this kind of shows the power of Futardio, and we see that coming into full view. So the problem that it solves, there's no privacy in AI. So that's exactly what Loyal looks to.
Yeah, if you're putting sensitive information to generate a legal document, for instance, that is not private. ChatGPT now owns that, and the government can essentially subpoena that information.
Yep. So
if you're asking it to how to build certain things or do certain things, yeah, that information can be used against you.
And so that's why this kind of it's basically like a private ChatGPT, in my opinion. That's the way that I'm kind of looking at this. But we see here that they have some, ZK proofs on chain to help protect your data and what you're giving to the AI itself.
Also, they had I think it was in-app trading or something. They had some integrated trading functionality that might generate economics through fees. So
nice. And we see they he mentioned an MCG clip here in his thread. Shout out you for that. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
But full autonomy, full encryption, and full ownership. So no
I'll
single point of failure.
I'll link the thread. You guys can go watch it. Just I have this on a watch list. I think the price action's great at 27 cents. You know, the floor is at 25 cents to do a $1.5 million buyback. Everything MetaDAO is super hot. So I think this looks pretty solid here. We only have 4 more minutes. A few others want to shout out is ICM. As they have a tweet there that I just attached. Chill.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to check the chart maybe first, and then we'll look at the tweet.
Cool. So let's take a look at ICM because they just dropped some hot something pretty dope, some dope news. So ICM was pretty much in a buy zone. We marked this off a while back, and it's basically been consolidating in this area for a pretty long time. So literally just waiting here, to see how prices react. But a great buy zone in my opinion. Very nice. And honestly, I wonder real quick what the pullback is on the fibs. So a little bit below the 0.786. Okay, cool. So yeah, nice little zone. Dom, the homie.
Bro,
What's the
GM guys. I mean, put a finger down if you ever had a good experience shopping at Verizon. Okay. No, that is the most painful. I can never get in and out of Verizon without spending 3 hours. I swear, dude. Today I got a new phone. It took an hour to like get some security measures done. It took an hour to transfer. It took an hour to
just SIM swapping people at
Dude,
Verizon, eh?
jeez Louise,
Jesus
bro.
Christ, what are you doing?
So here we are, man. Verizon.
All right,
but
we gotta keep on track here. 3 minutes. Can we pull up this tweet? Just
Boom.
to cap. Yeah, great. Staking is going live imminently.
So staking is rolling out. They're finishing the audit stage. So again, making ICM holders liquid by means of these staking rewards. We know that they had the goal of $1 million per month, right? So some things to be aware of there. Simply put, it's a meritocracy based Echo style ICM launchpad built on shout out Meteora. I don't know if y'all saw my post yesterday. But yeah, it's designed to align value add angels with early stage projects and reject bad capital. So Dom actually made a great comment here. He said, so staking is ready, on-chain credit score, new launchpad private, new launchpad primitive on the way, 3 protocols launching this month. GG's indeed. And real quick, before we move on to transition into the interview, we see everything pumping in the market. It could be because Vanguard is now allowing clients to access crypto ETFs and funds. And
Weren't these guys saying no?
Really
these
today.
guys were saying no before, weren't they? I think.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good.
Actually, I think famously, CEO of this fund or firm, whatever, originally said crypto is worthless and they will never have crypto or never offer crypto. So it's we've come full circle here. Yeah, there we go. It does not belong in a long-term portfolio.
So Watcher Guru just posted this yesterday. And in my opinion, I mean, look, we just went through one of the most, Bitcoin is actually going for it. 92K. But this has been one of the most like brutal sell-offs. Brutal. We're talking let's see, minus 35% in a month and a half, speed running another bear market. And so this like price action has literally caught so many people off guard. It's flushed a lot of people out. You see Watcher Guru every day saying how many billions of dollars have been liquidated from the market. And right here at the Pico bottom is when they're like, okay, time to open up the floodgates, right? So it just, again, they're trying to catch you offside. And I think this is a really great example of that. So don't get shaken out. Vanguard is here.
We have
let's
to
see how that affects markets. But yeah, let's go to the next segment.
Yep, we got to run the next segment, and then we can get back to some tickers after, guys. I know Orgo has dropped in chat, a few others, so we'll do it. Is it Josip? How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing good. First of all, apologies if I'm underperforming on the stream. I think this is like my first or second time on Twitter live stream, so I'm not like fully familiar with the UI. And another thing is I also coming bold or semi-bold, so it's not my like usual setup, right?
We want a
can see
bald
the-
founder.
Yeah, bald founders are bullish for some reason. So
I don't know if you've seen like the bold point meme from Breakpoint.
The bald point?
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, they made a whole meme that if you're coming to Breakpoint, you have to come bold, because if you're like a founder, you're a CEO, you have to be bold to be able to raise $2 million at Breakpoint and so forth.
except the marketing guys. The marketing guys are, we're
Yeah, they're
useless,
assholes. They're just like
apparently.
racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
They're just
can we have
racing
your
us up to like
Telegram?
go bold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm happy we got you on here. It's Josip. Is that how it's pronounced?
Josip or anglicized version would be Joseph. It is fine.
Okay, we'll stick with Josip then if that's what you go with. But high praise, man. I reached out. I saw your account. I saw you guys were doing some sort of funding platform Launchpad. And so I reached out to the Meteora team because I saw they were following you, and they had nothing but fantastic things about you to say. Great founder, legend in the space. I think I'm taking verbatim some words that I heard. So excited to get you on, and I'm excited to hear your story specifically and then what you're doing here with Fundle. But we appreciate you coming on. Maybe let's just start here, Josip. A little bit of background on yourself. How you got into crypto, how you got where you are today, and then who you are.
Yeah. Thank you for the high words of praises, both you and the Meteora team. I feel like the person on the other end wasn't like humble with the compliments, but yeah. TLDR on myself. So I'm 28 years old. I'm in Croatia with my family and 4 kids. I'm a developer, so I'm a technical founder. But I also obviously wear multiple hats, so I juggle from development to marketing to whatever. My crypto journey began a couple of years ago. Initially, I was like quite against crypto and NFTs. I was actually proactively against them, but then I actually landed on an Upwork gig as a developer. I didn't realize this was like an NFT thing, NFT shit. I was building like essentially Web3 idle gaming platform. If you heard of Heist and DeFi Dungeons, so before DeFi Dungeons, it was Heist, and before Heist, it was Remnants. And I was actually the original developer on the behind Remnants there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it kind of evolved there because essentially all of my prejudice fell off because as I was developing the app, I figured that it's kind of exactly the same thing as if developing a standard Web2 app, besides maybe like this wallet thingy, but ultimately it demystified NFTs and tokens for me. So ultimately I kind of got sold in, and the winning point was as I was developing the app, that was my first experience of developing directly for end customers. So I was like in this, you remember the 221 NFT run, like you were on Discord, you were resolving support tickets, you were 16 hours online. And if you weren't online, like people considered that FUD because, like developer is taking a piss break, like shit, the project is falling down.
Yeah,
so
down to zero.
Yeah, but that experience, like for me, was extremely awesome because it was startup, it was challenging, and also the direct user feedback. I was normally working in developer agencies, dev shops, so I was kind of hidden behind project managers and marketers and everything, resolving my tickets in Jira and Kanban boards and so forth. But this was like, holy shit, like these users actually came, raised a support ticket, did a screen recording of like reproduction of the issue, and like that connection between me and user was what clicked and what made me stick. And then the whole like startup mentality on Solana. And that was so I initially started in like late Q21 on Solana developing apps. That's
Very cool.
the background how I got into crypto essentially.
No, that's an awesome background. I guess speaking on that a little bit, what do you think the key is to, use the word demystifying crypto? Because it seems like everyone, or at least a majority of people from Web2 has this stigma of crypto where it's like, I don't want anything to do with it. It's a scam. It's scummy, whatever. How do we demystify that for everyone, just like it happened to you?
Yeah, so actually one of the reasons why I built Fundle the way it is, it's a launchpad but without tokens, is specifically to like demystify crypto. So it's a tricky thing. If you demystify it and like fully abstract the crypto, they're gonna feel as if they've been scammed, as you sold me this crypto shit. We've seen it with Mr. Beast. he hosted at one point like a tournament or something, like an event where all the creators came in. And when they realized that the collectibles in an app, like achievements, were actually NFTs, all of them boycotted. They're like made public outrage tweets that you got me into this NFT platform. But in reality, it was just like standard Mr. Beast tournament. And NFTs
And the
were used as technology.
algorithm loved it. The algorithm like fed that
You
to people.
saw that specific story?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah,
That was
that-
like the biggest. That was like the biggest FUD story in NFTs. Was that?
Yeah, and essentially, so if you like demystify it too much, as if you lower the barrier too much, they're gonna feel like you're shoving it down their throats unnecessarily because they already have the prejudice. So the question is, how do we actually do it in a way that it's more convenient? I think now, as ecosystem matured more, we came to a couple of cool unlocks like stablecoins. They're mass adopted, and now nobody can claim, oh, crypto is volatile and it's shit, because you can simply say there's this like digital dollars that you can use and they're global. I can send it to my friend in Russia who is cut off from the SWIFT system. I can send it to somebody in Cuba and somebody in Africa and so forth. We don't have to rely on the traditional rails. So what I've done at Fundle is embed a wallet for the user, explain them that it's like digital dollars, and that's it. So your only interaction with crypto is like these rails, but without the volatility. I think this is the part which kind of made people extremely against, because NFTs were highly speculative at the time and tokens are currently highly speculative. So how do we first introduce them to stable assets and then maybe introduce them to like RWAs, NFTs, and so forth, so forth. So if you're a creator coming to Fundle, you want to raise funds, all you need is internet connection, and you will, if you're raising $20,000, you will receive them 20,000 USDC on your wallet. And you only touch crypto if you raise successfully. So your first interaction with crypto is if you actually are receiving money, and the money is actually stable, so you don't have to have the like standard stigma. So you're just receiving digital dollars. I feel like that's the way to go. Stablecoins basically could be the red pill, blue pill. I forgot which pill is the good one.
I think it's the red pill, right? I don't know. I never watched.
Yeah, red pill.
Matrix. Nonetheless, but so wouldn't that beg the question though? Why not just take the traditional venture capital route and get traditional dollars? Is it the democratized aspect of this? Maybe
Democratized on both regards, both creators and backers. So in terms of creators, something that not many people know is you can only raise on Kickstarter if you're from one of the 25 countries in the world. So only 10% countries in the world can raise on Kickstarter. Obviously, because it covers like America and a couple of bigger countries, like nobody bats an eye, but ultimately everyone else is either cut off or they have to find like an intermediary that's going to host the campaign for them. And on the other end, Kickstarter can't really do like shared success with backers, like affiliate marketing or rewarding early backers, because you can't collect everyone's IBAN and then do payouts. It's not really built for the TradFi, but with stablecoins, you can easily just send somebody $10, $50, $200. So
Cool.
yeah, democratizing access to the capital markets and also democratizing access to opportunities on the market.
Okay, so maybe give me the vision here. When you set out to create Fundle, what kind of made you do this or got you excited to do this? Obviously, you said there was a stigma involved and you wanted to make everything a little more stable. Are these tradable assets? What's in it for the buyers?
What do contributors get? What's in it for the buyers?
Yeah. So background on why I've done this. In the last couple of years on Solana, I helped over 200 founders and creators raise over $4 million in capital through VCs, grants, crowdfunding campaigns, and so forth. So my kind of superpower, or the part where I love to work the most with founders, is how to access capital and opportunities. Like I can go from GTM, PMF, and so forth, but the strongest point is essentially helping raise capital. It's always been my passion to ask people for money, I guess. But ultimately, as I was trying to figure out these opportunities, how to access capital, and when to enable creators to raise capital. Should they first make the content, then raise, or should they raise immediately, like crowdfunding, the first step? It all boils down to, on Kickstarter, 90% backers quit after backing just 2 projects. Like 90% users quit after 1 or 2 projects. because the downside is like too high. Like you back a project on Kickstarter, you might get a board game, comic book, video game in 2 years when it's produced. You might get it in 2 years. So like way too much risk. Why wouldn't I just wait for 2 years and then buy it on retail? If this product is good, it's going to get retail.
Yeah.
Crypto does so those downsides have to be matched with like tangible upsides, and crypto does that well. So crypto has that internet capital markets like tokens and speculation and the X10, X100 upside. But the issue that we have there is in crypto, you have to launch tokens to be able to access capital, which is not something that everyone is down to do. Especially when talking about IPs and art industry, like art industry and creators, they're mostly left-leaning. Like they hate Trump, they hate everything that Trump represents. They hate tokens and NFTs and AI, which Trump represents both AI and NFTs and tokens. So how do you enable those people to access capital? Again, most of the art industry, which is like its own bubble, hates NFTs and AI, but without forcing them to launch a token. And that's essentially Fundle's shot, in my opinion. All the token launchpads, with all due respect to, I don't know, Meteora, Metaplex, Jupiter, Pump, to all of them, I feel like the long-term play in most of the cases is not going to be token launchpads. I could go on for like a whole day. Let me just try to like wrap up the thoughts here. With tokens, the biggest issue is that you immediately access all the capital. I mean, that's a good thing, but it's also like a double-edged sword because, okay, you raised $2 million to build an animated series like Hebrew and Planosaurus. What happens in the next 2 years until you actually build the damn thing? And then another year to monetize. The token dies on the second day. What do you do for the next 2 to 3 years? That's my issue with tokens. They're like short attention span. And in 2 days, they're so dead that it's not even like worth paying effort or trying to revive this token. And
Right.
that's the part which we try to resolve with Fundle. So internet capital markets, speculation, supporting creators, but without the token. It's an experiment. It might fail, but that's the plan.
No. This is a good experiment because you're absolutely right. What we see, and there's data that we saw on, I can't remember the platform off the top of my head, but it basically said all the tokens on Pump Fund hit an all-time high within the first hour or two, which basically means the algorithmic traders play the first 60-minute candles, and then after that, it's cooked basically on 90% of these launches. And you're right. As a founder, let's say you started it, some sniper extracted $100,000 out of investors. Now the chart's down only. All those people basically hate you. They blame you for that failure. Meanwhile, it was just pure extraction by some sniper bot on Axiom or some dude on Axiom. And that's a huge problem. And I want to recognize the people that you're going after. I remember the NFT discussions. I was there for all those NFT spaces where we would invite artists on in 2020 and they'd be like, we hate NFTs. We hate the speculation. You're stealing our IP, all this kind of nonsense. So I do understand you're carving out this niche. Now, let me ask you this. If a product gets to a good area where it's actually successful in this platform, I contribute $5,000 to a project. Is there some sort of upside at some point to me contributing $5,000? And how do I realize that?
So the way it legally works, and so we're currently communicating it back projects and profit, but legally speaking, under the hood, you're essentially a creator that's taking out a loan. So you want to raise $20,000. I want to take out loans, and it's like a peer-to-peer loan marketplace. I'm collecting $20,000 from 100 early believers. With those funds, I'm going to do like research and development. I'm going to develop the first prototype of my product, like a comic or a board game or something. And with that money and the prototype, I'm going to go to Kickstarter and I'm going to try to raise $100,000, $200,000, $400,000. If I'm not successful, nothing happens. You took the risk on yourself, but also you receive something in return. I'm going to get to that point. If I am successful, I make like $200,000 sales on Kickstarter, you will get a certain API from the sale on Kickstarter. So the creator is going to be paying back the loan over the coming months. The goal is for all of the projects coming here to raise capital like up to $50,000 and within 6 months go to Kickstarter and try to do another raise. So within 6 months, you would ideally receive some sort of news, like positive or negative outcome. It's kind of like prediction markets on fundraising in a way. In return, besides like the monetary upside, you also receive rewards. So if you're backing an animated movie or like a comic or a board game, you'd be receiving the prototype of the board game, the first version of the game, video game, and so forth, so forth. So you're kind of getting the early prints, like limited edition prototypes. They might suck. They might be good as like collector items because they're like first run. But the goal is to actually help this creator get to the next stage and then maybe
Right.
profit from it.
And so Kickstarter is for products that have some sort of MVP where they can
Yes.
show, hey, I've created something. And what you're kind of almost is like pre that, where you're like, hey, I'm a
Exactly.
creator. You're going to trust in me as a person. Let me take a loan out. I'm going to get it to a Kickstarter, then get more money, and then ideally commercialize it at one point and pay everybody back.
Exactly. It's like a pre-Kickstarter. In terms of Pump.Fun, I guess the best allegory would be as if you're raising $50,000 on Fundle, and if you raise 50, you graduate to Kickstarter, as
Got
if you're
it.
graduating to like, yeah.
And do
But
investors get or backers get like a interest on top of their thing? Like if I put $5,000 in, am I getting like 5,500 back?
yes. So there is when you pledge for a project, when you back a project, there is like a table laid out which explains when are you getting what. So within
Okay.
6 months, this creator plans to raise. Like they're not. There obviously there's always risk that something doesn't happen, but like
course, yeah.
assuming the case where this creator does raise on Kickstarter, they would be obliged to pay back this much. The way it works, also like a legal framework talk, is we as Fundle act like a publisher. We help you publish on Kickstarter and we charge a fee. And that fee we use to reward early backers, kind of like a loyalty program and loans and so forth. So we're kind of a marketplace for these loans, and we ensure that the loans pass through.
Right. Okay. And so is your business, are you like a marketing firm on Kickstarter? Is that like a core part of your business? And this is kind of like an early funnel or lead funnel into that?
Actually not, but
Okay.
we are actually in talks with a couple of most performing marketing agencies on Kickstarter, Indiegogo, and GameFound. They're actually our power users because here's the case. I'm a marketing agency. If a creator has some money and has like a cool idea, I can make sure that it sells out like $200,000. But when I'm speaking with 2,000 creators each month with different ideas, 200 of them are actually super cool, but the only blocker is capital. They're missing $20,000 to like advertise it and test and so forth. So what we've actually done with these marketing agencies, we've told them, funnel us like these quality creators. We're going to help them raise, and then they're going to use the raise to use you to raise successfully on Kickstarter. So we're kind of bootstrapping the initial budget for research and development, but also for marketing on the next stage.
Got it. And so crypto investors are theoretically taking the early kind of risk here, right?
I will never use the word investor currently in the current form. I'm just going to say backers, but yes.
Backers,
So
sure.
you are the one enabling this project come to life. So as you said, it's pre-Kickstarter. We moved funding to one stage earlier. So while it's still just an idea, I'm a crack creator. This is my reference. This is my portfolio and like previous work, and now I want to build this new thing.
So
So,
Josip,
yeah.
why differentiate between investor and backer? Like specifically.
Specifically because you're not investing, you're essentially backing a project, and you may profit from the benefits. So it's more in the project is still early stage. I'm gonna keep repeating the disclaimers, NFA and NLA, no legal advice, because you still have to refine all the legal policies, the framework. So it's best if you just stay precautious. While I'm trying to swim the legal framework, I'm just being using the words I'm comfortable with. So essentially, the goal for everyone should be: I see a super crack creator, I want to support them, I want to receive these rewards like a board game and so forth, but I also may profit like this on that regard.
So this makes sense. Curious, are you guys going to start a fund, right? This, for example, this one had pledged $8,000. maybe you clearly have a good eye for this stuff. You know what does well on Kickstarter. That seems to be something you're very good at. You've helped teams raise in the past. Are you seeing projects that come through this pipeline saying, hey, maybe we create a fund here and we fund the specific ones we think that'll do really well on Kickstarter, and then obviously hope to see a return on that at some point?
I think yes. I mean, similarly, some people have done DAOs which traded time.fund tokens. Like there's no if there is like a way to make some sort of gain, I don't see a reason why somebody wouldn't. It's not even like the funds, it's also the grant pools. If I'm giving grant pools to projects on Solana, like Super Team and Solana Foundation, etc., why wouldn't I give grants to early stage teams here? Because my pool would now be self-sustainable. Like that, I could see why somebody would actually want to do this. Somebody's like super into board games, and they know which board games has a good sense of which board games are going to become profitable on Kickstarter, can make good sales. I can see why somebody would manage those.
So I got two questions that I want to rip off here. Number one, why is the platform really dominated right now by board games or by these animated series? Is there a reason? Do those tend to do very well on Kickstarter?
The board game is actually number one category on Kickstarter. Like it's 40% of their volume. And they're not even like the big. There's also another crowdfunding platform called GameFound, which is also raising a lot for board games. So board games are super cracked because you can charge them a lot. It's a hobby for people with dispensable income.
High margin.
It's high. It's not as high margin. Depends on the board game. Like if it's easy to print and play, but if you have to produce and ship like miniatures. But the point is that you can charge customers a lot, and they're super loyal. If I have like 50 board games here, I'm gonna buy another 50, even though I'm never gonna play them. Like it's a full collectible mindset that is seen with NFTs. Like I'm just like stacking these up without even necessarily consuming them. So it's a super loyal market, and the people there have sufficient capital to spend. So the board games are quite successful on Kickstarter, actually.
And you said you don't have like a marketing firm that helps these guys go to Kickstarter, build out really nice decks, websites, etc.
We don't have it as in we're not a marketing agency. I mean, we can always provide some advice and consulting and so forth, but ultimately we're partnering with marketing agencies that have creators. So marketing agencies have creators and know how to market on Kickstarter. We only allow creators to access capital. So ideally, the synergy there is you're a creator, you want to go from 0 to 1, go to Fundle, raise the capital, produce the thing, go use our marketing partner to then raise more on Kickstarter.
Yeah. I do want to ask about how much money have you raised on your platform? Give us some success stories. And so there was a question that Chill had here about what prevents, like people just walking away with the money on these types. Like what kind of like I guess
investor protections or
backer protections. Yeah.
Backer protections.
Yeah. So in terms of successful raises, we've done like one dry run, $800 for one indie comic creator. That's more like internal. We haven't advertised it, but it ran successfully with 60 backers. Then we announced the animated comic for $8,000. It had 70 backers and funded in fully in under 1 hour. The next campaign launching this week is going to be $20,000 raise for a poker set. If you see there, we're going to polish the campaign today, tomorrow, but essentially it's going to be crypto poker sets where orange chip is like a Bitcoin, black one is like Solana, BNB, and so forth. So it's going to be for poker enthusiasts, Web3 enthusiasts, and so forth. And with this essentially $20,000 raise, they're going to run the first print of, that's the part that's missing as well on the campaign. It's going to be polished tonight. But they want to fund to do the first run of 100 poker sets and playing cards. And with that, they want to go to Kickstarter and raise a few $100,000 ideally. In terms of investor protection, backer protection, whoever says that they can protect in full, they're like lying. There's certain levels to protection, but it's just like internet piracy. Somebody's always going to find a workaround to, you cannot protect against piracy and people scamming you when you invest into them or back them. But what we do for now is I personally vet all the teams. They're also coming from my network at the moment. There's also legally binding terms where a creator signs, if I go to Kickstarter, I'm obliged to pay this agency Fundle this much, like a success fee, and then we manage those funds and so forth, and to pay back the loans and so forth. There's always cases where somebody could simply say that, oh, we took the money, we've done the research and development, but it's proven that this product isn't actually viable, it cannot be produced and so forth. And what do you do in that case? Like, you can't really do too much. And the similar cases on Kickstarter as well. On a Kickstarter, quite a few projects fall into the case where Trump introduces tariffs to China, and suddenly the whole project can ship, but it also wants to do refunds because they already burned the money for production. Creators like just stop responding. So it's something that's inevitable. The thing that we want to do is, because there is so many downsides, we just try to match the downsides with the upsides. So our cure to the problem is the upsides rather than try to do something more than Kickstarter in terms of ensuring that creators can produce this. So it's the quality assurance is the same as on Kickstarter. It's the same guarantees, but also the same risks, obviously.
I guess that comes down to the fact: are you guys going to have a token? Would you ever launch a token to represent this platform? How do you guys make money, etc.?
Yeah, I personally never like to mention that we will have a token. I'm not too against it. I can see the merits. I'm not blind to the benefits of a token, but also I'm not rushing into it. In 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, if you launch 100,000 projects or 10,000 projects successfully, I can see a case where we launch like a portfolio token, where we take a cut from every startup, every IP launching on Fundle. If they raise successfully, we take a cut. And suddenly this token is backed by all the projects on the platform. So if we launch like the next Marvel, the next board game, I don't know if somebody's into board games, but Exploding Kittens, Unstable Unicorns, all of those big board games actually raised on Kickstarter. Quite a few books raised on Kickstarter. So if we capture that value early on in the process and put it into token, it could work on that regard. And then we can also use the token to then amplify the raises by issuing tokens to people that back continuously these projects. So it could be like a loyalty token, but also backed by the whole portfolio.
There's a lot of growth in this space. I think, it's ICM is perfect for allowing people to raise a few $100s or a few $1,000s to test different products out and then see what sticks. So we only have a couple minutes left. Maybe we end this with like just the rest of your team, like what people should do. Should they join your platform? Should they sign up, deposit some USDC? What's the go?
The call to action would be, if you load the products on the platform and maybe you want to get your hands on the first iteration of the crypto poker chips, definitely support the creator, aim to get the product and maybe benefit from it. So there's a chance that you get the poker set and you get the money back in 6 months. That's like the minimum that we want to strive for. Be patient because the platform is still in beta. We're only testing with a couple of launches. We're going to ramp up the launches in the first quarter of 2026. So I guess have understanding if the platform looks incomplete, if it moves slowly because there's no updates for 2 weeks on the platform itself. Currently, we're only launching bi-weekly. That's it. If you know a creator that wants to raise capital, please rush them here, especially if they have like a tangible product, digital or physical, like a video game, board game, comic, or hardware wallet or something like that. Please direct them to me. There's also affiliate bonuses that if a creator raises successfully, you get a cut. So the call to action there would be, if you know somebody that's a genius, but also needs access to capital, please.
Cool. And maybe, sorry, last one to jump in here is just the relationship with Meteorite Collective. Do you have a relationship there, or?
I know Vesper. I think Vesper is an amazing human being, and I know a couple of people from Meteora, but I'm personally, so this is the thing, I'm not a degen in the space. I've seen the market, I've traded a bit, just like tiny bit to understand this, to understand the psychology, but I'm not utilizing ICMs, Meteora, Pump, etc. too much. So I don't have that relationship there. It's more so that I respect a few OGs in the industry that are working at Meteora, and it's mutual.
It always
Can I
starts
ask-
with I'm not actively trading right now, but I might be in the future. So go ahead, Dom.
Nice.
Can I ask what the BD pipeline looks like? Obviously, your goal should be getting a lot of really cool projects and creators on here. What does the BD look like for you from your end?
So how do you acquire creators and backers? Is that the question?
I guess, well, you're doing all sorts of BD from connecting creators who got funded with agencies for Kickstarter. You're trying to get creators on your platform to launch cool things like poker sets. What does your BD look like? Is it through your pipeline right now? Is it referral systems?
Currently it's through my network, pretty much. I do have, like, as I was helping all these people, founders and creators, I can easily like source some of them that are cool, but just need access to capital.
You know, you want to hear another good idea? So I ran a Roblox gaming studio, and on there were some kids that were like 14 years old. They're building these Roblox games. One kid bought one for $4,000, and it ended up generating something like $15 million in revenue. And
Holy
it
shit.
just, it was one of these eye-opening things where I was seeing these kids that were creating on Roblox in Discords, making insane amounts of money as developers. And they were selling things like digital goods in the game, upgrades. And it was like these shooter games. It was like Battlefield 3, but for like Roblox. And it was
My nephew does
team,
that.
$15 million a month.
Yes.
It was
Yes.
so much money that gaming studios were looking at this and being like, we're about to get totally disrupted with this generation of gamers because they don't care about Warzone or anything. Anyways, I think you should be looking at those communities because if they
So
could
we should be
raise,
funding
14-year-old
Roblox,
kids.
there
initiatives.
is
Yeah.
no
Fortnite
better
kids.
way to raise money or like to sell products to young kids other than in Roblox with Robux. Like I
mean,
anyways,
There we go.
It makes sense. The issue there is that we can't really do revenue share. It's more so that you have to like offer something in return, but it could be digital items and skins. So if you
Yeah.
back this project, you will receive some digital skins once you ship them
just
and so forth.
don't tell Roblox what you're doing because they will send you a cease and assist letter if you're disrupting their model.
Yeah,
So,
please delete the live stream. This hasn't
Yeah.
happened.
yeah. But hey, worth a great. There's a huge consumer base on Roblox, massive, and they're
Yeah.
forced consumers. So, anyways,
And the news there is spread rapidly. So if like,
yes,
yeah, it's a whole community.
and they're almost crypto native too. They're like in Discord communities, just like this.
they're degens. We can
They're-
speak the same language.
Bro, they're degens, but they're young.
Honestly.
You know, so yeah.
Honestly. Nonetheless, some closing thoughts here, Josip, as you kind of head off. What is the grand vision here? You know, what do you look to achieve? What should this website look like in the future? Are there going to be different ways to connect with agencies? Are there going to be 100 different people raising at the same time? What is that grand vision you have?
So ideally, there's going to be new projects launching in every day. Any creator is going to be able to just come in with an idea and access the first capital, first $1,000, $20,000, $50,000. Backers would be profitable in a way that they can keep redeploying capital. So if I back project 1,000, I get 2,000 back, I can redeploy and so forth. So they should be able to retain within the ecosystem. And the marketing agencies should naturally synergize in a way that they should fight for every project launching on Funnel because that's their potential customer. And we should potentially benefit from all of these marketing agencies pushing their funnel to us. And if they get funded, they have a client. So that's kind of the win-win situation for everyone involved. My number one concern is connecting people that need capital with people that have the capital. Like that's ultimately of every crowdfunding, every fundraising platform.
Love it. This is really cool. This is like, I don't know, something super interesting, not something I'm familiar with or really used to, but super cool to see, and best of luck to you, Josip.
Thank you. Thanks to the whole MCG team for hosting live stream and for having me.
Thanks,
course,
Joseph.
Appreciate you, Josip.
We'll stay in
Bye-bye.
contact. Peace. Do you guys want to go through and look at some of the videos on the website? I actually am kind of curious to see what these animated series like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can
let's
we-
do it.
Can we actually Soar launched just dropped a tweet. Solana just engaged with it. Can we actually do that first? I need a clip on.
Yeah,
Sure,
I got
go
it.
ahead. Take the lead there.
Let's see. Boom.
That's pretty cool though. It's
Here's-
like really early stage Kickstarter. If you're good at like betting what's going to do well on Kickstarter, there might be, I don't know, like that's a totally different market that I'm familiar with, but kind of cool. All right, here we go.
Yeah, the key is it investable, right? So other than just supporting people, but
Of course.
all right, launch on SOAR. Let's go through this here.
All right, guys. So frequent flyer program is now live. Participants will be able to claim their initial points based on their activity across major trading venues. If you basically traded on SOAR, MetaDAO, Believe, Pump Fund, you have access to these frequent flyer points. As the first ICM rewards program, we want to reward every participant. So they have the link there. Frequent flyer program is designed to reward conviction. So really anyone who's traded or interested or convicted in internet capital markets. You can accrue them in different ways by holding and trading. Points are also rewarded through a referral system. So 10% of points accrued by your referrals are rewarded to you. So make sure you choose the right friends for the flight. Let's see. So it's all based on your activity. It's transparent. And a future, it says where holders are not left with dust when the companies they back succeed, where tokens have true value, where companies and their holders win together. So it's really them just kind of announcing their rewards program. And I like the fact that their frequent flyers program, I should say. But I like this. I mean, I'm sure there's a ton that they can do with this, but by holding and trading projects and to accrue points, that's going to incentivize people to come to the SOAR platform. And, I think SOAR projects deserve more eyes, and this is one way to get them.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot,
I wonder
Solana.
What's changed for this rollout rather than the last one for points program?
That is a great question. That is because I remember they had this come out already, but not 100% sure, to be honest.
I want to say this is maybe more of a formal, like that might have been a soft launch.
Okay. Here we go.
Didn't they tweet about it though? Right.
Okay, so you got to retweet to check your bags here. Let's see. Okay. So I think this is in this is a big push, I think, for driving volume, eyes, and more speculation to their platform, I think is what's going on here.
Which drives eyes, more volume and stuff to their tokens.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So good for eyes, good for getting eyes on SOAR projects. And then you have Solana as well. Coming out and showing some love. I think that's huge.
I have a feeling the life cycle of some of these SOAR tokens is probably going to mirror what's happened with MetaDAO, right? Where you just get these slow cooks. And I think it took a little while for MetaDAO. We saw, OMFG was their second launch. Their first launch was resolved and distributed funds back to holders because of a vote. But, we saw it took a little bit of time for MetaDAO to pick up and start gaining traction. So, I kind of expect something similar with SOAR.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to mention about their first launch actually not working out, right? Like one of MetaDAO's earlier launches actually didn't work out, and it was actually a pretty good case study for why the Futarki model works and why it could benefit, the space and holders in general. So, I think there is a learning curve here. It's just a matter. We talked about this yesterday on stream. It's all about discovery. We know the projects here are like some of the best that we've seen in crypto, at least me. Coming from those old utility projects from ETH to now seeing, real companies, real Web2 founders coming in. I mean, you can't fade a guy like Patrick, coming in with CPT, or you can't fade something like DFTV with that insane backing and an insane history. So a lot of great stuff happening.
Can we go through both those tickers? Let's see if there's any reaction on CPT and then DFTV.
Yeah, well, DFTV's got a nice bid. I mean, it was a super obvious value trade here. And I think, that's what you see in these markets like this is traders kind of find a flight to value. And so when you look at DFTV, someone that's raised probably much higher than even their current market cap, it was sitting at 4 mil. We know in the new year they're going for a $15 million raise at a roughly $50 million valuation. And so when you see it again, equity, debt, basically debt equity structure on the company trading at 4 million, there's a massive arbitrage opportunity there, right? And so to watch these dynamics play out and to gamify it is really interesting. And that was a pretty obvious and easy bid, I think, for anyone that took a little bit of time to understand the model here. So still
And
currently
not
at
to
7 mil.
mention the Brock Pierce, the Tether connection. I mean, I know it's historic kind of a little bit, but people will get note of those narratives.
Yeah, I mean, look, it just reinforces the level of fundamentals that these projects have. It's like one thing I've noticed from which really got me into ICM in the first place was the fact that a lot of these projects are incomparable to what we've seen. Like when I first came in and I saw Viva launched, I'm like, there's no way there has not been a multi-billion-dollar company that has launched in this space. It's bigger than anything that we've seen so far. It's bigger than literally anything that we've seen so far. I think most of these like top 100 tokens, I remember when me and Dom, we looked through the top 100. I think it was last week. There wasn't much. There wasn't
Dinos,
much.
man.
You know, just freaking just
Bitcoin
Dino coins.
Cash, baby.
Yeah,
Like
what are we doing? What are we doing? You know, so I immediately realized that, you know, projects such as these are ones that should be you know, highlighted and deserve the attention rather than a lot of the others that we see in the space. So look, ton of a lot of people will come to the same conclusion, you know, especially with what they're coming to that conclusion with MetaDAO projects, but soon you'll see that happen for SOAR projects as well.
look at this, man. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm seeing Mercy tweeting about it. Oh, let's go, man. Let's go. Here we go. Top 3. Let me just flex on y'all real quick.
Flex.
Yeah, this is I was gonna pull this up too, Dom. But yeah, you do it.
Let's see, bro. Oh, wrong one. Here we go. Look at that leaderboard, boys. I'm telling you, I got hoed, dude. If they would have counted some referrals, bro, I probably referred so many people to SOAR.
Yo, Top Fumbler out here.
Yeah,
Let's
shout
go,
out Top
dude.
Fumbler.
Wondering what these points will be used for. I'm sure you are. Yeah, I'm sure you are as the #1 on the leaderboard. I'll connect some more wallets here, I think, soon. Maybe try to bump myself up there. But this is sick. I'm excited. I think hopefully their next launch has some sort of incorporation with, you know, what the points are going to be used for and all that good stuff. But nonetheless, we do have RV on. You guys want to pull him up and just chat about what he's doing?
Wait, in a second. Can we do CPT? Just a check in here real quick. We didn't look at the chart.
Yeah,
and then we'll get RV up. We'll get RV up.
I got it up on my screen.
We gotta get these. I need screenshots. I need notes. You know.
Let's do it.
There we go.
CPT is looking good. We saw the bounce off the bottom. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. But yeah, bounce off the bottom, recognition coming to the SOAR platform. You know, points will attract some traders, and hopefully we see some that can kind of fuel some continuation. But you guys know, with a lot of these on-chain charts, especially in this environment, I like drawing out ranges, man. And so far, you know, we're still in this overall range, but bouncing off the bottom. You know, again, this is just, you know, low time frame charting. This should be doing a lot of great things here pretty soon.
You guys saw Solo, man. I mean, these ownership coins right now are just clearly taking over.
Dude, Solo looks fantastic.
Look at that. And Chill, I love what you said on the other stream that I wasn't able to make about just, you know, what happens. Like, I really don't think that we would see the current meta in terms of equity anchorage, in terms of debt programs, in terms of ownership coins, if we weren't in a deep bear market, right? Because people would just continue to buy their valueless tokens that are meaningless and worthless. And I think because you're pushed to this extreme, again, you got that flight to value. And so you find people buying tokens where the downside is a lot less, right? Like ownership tokens like MetaDAO. And so I think because of this bear market and these terrible conditions, we burst something really beautiful. And I don't really think this would probably be as big as it is today if the markets were just continue to be hot. So I think you made a really great point about that the other day, Chill. Just wanted to speak on that.
Appreciate you, bro. Yeah. I mean, they say it all the time, right? Like, bear markets, you make the most money in the bear market because coming out of it, if you were paying attention, you kind of know where the interest is, where the capital is flowing, and coming out of it, you tend to get like some of the biggest pumps. And speaking of pumps, a lot of things are going crazy right now. But let's go ahead and start our next segment with Uplift. The main man. How are you, brother?
Good. Thanks for asking. How are you guys doing?
Doing
Doing
good,
well.
bro. I've been seeing you like whipping around. You moved to LA, or you're where are you right now? You're
Moved to San Francisco. Yes.
SF. You're in SF. You're moving around. You're doing stuff with the ICM team, creating a hacker house. Like,
Were you in a Lambo recently or something? I thought I saw.
Yeah. I was in a Lambo recently.
Is that your Lambo rented or
no. So I
friends?
got invited to this this femtech gala, like an hour down south, and it's at this hacker house, big mansion, really cool. They host a lot of events, and one of the sponsors is like an exotic car rental service. So I was just like leaving. I saw a dude in the Lambo. I was like, "Yo, do you work for the company?" And he was like, "Yeah, I own it." I was like, "Oh, word. Can I ride in the Lambo?" And he's like, "Sure, hop in." So we connected in the
let me whip the
Lambo,
boat.
and yeah, it was
Love
pretty
to
cool.
see it.
So RV, I got to get a little background on you. You know how you got into crypto. I read a bit of your story. You put out a pretty good tweet a while ago, which maybe I'll find while we're talking about this. But how did you get into crypto? And what's your background? Maybe tell us a little bit about that. And then how did you meet Mercy, the Meteor team, and just kind of start leading this division here in SF?
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy long story, but I'll condense it as best as possible for you guys. So I'm 27. I just moved to San Francisco 3 months ago to completely change my life, work on my startup Uplift. We have a token, tickers hash money sign Uplift. And yeah, so when I was 13, 14, I was really into technology. I was into hardware, I was into software. I wanted to program my own things. I wanted to be a hacker. I was building my own games, websites, just stuff for fun. So that's kind of when I first heard about crypto. I was in this specialty center for IT, and all my friends were like, "Dude, you should mine crypto. Like there's this thing called Bitcoin. It's like a few $100s, and if we find it, we could become rich." I was like, "Oh wow, that's so cool." But like we were like bullied for being nerds and like IT guys, so I wasn't like really focused on all that. I was focused on sports and trying to like fit in. So that was like kind of my period that I like stepped away from the tech industry until I came back this year. I really focused on like leadership and business development and sales and marketing and just like how to interact with humans and socialize. So I jumped into esports really heavy. I did that for 13 or 14 years just off my school laptop, self-teaching myself. So that involved like doing events, finding sponsors like a Coca-Cola, Delta, Quest Nutrition, some other big companies, sending teams out to events, scouting these teams, managing them, coaching them, even competing and creating content. I kind of just did it all. I didn't have like the support from my family or like my school or any like local support financially. So everything was just kind of like I had to make money somehow. And all that money went into my business. What brought me kind of back to crypto is I kind of just like dipped and dabbled here and there throughout the years, mostly in Solana. I had a lot of friends in Bitcoin and Ethereum, but Solana was just like the network that happened to be around when I started to like show interest in crypto, like around COVID, pre-COVID, right after high school. It wasn't anything big. I never had like the capital to just like I want to invest, I want to trade. So it was just like here and there for fun. I made my profits, and then I left and went back to esports and continued to do my thing. It wasn't until recently, like I've gone through a lot. People kind of tell me that I'm like a cat. I've lived like 9 lives. So I used to sell drugs. I used to DJ. I used to do all these different types of trades and jobs. Just like a really wild life. And it came to a point where I couldn't really use like normal financial institutions like banks. I was banned with some banks.
Jeez.
So it came to a point where I was like, the only thing that I really could use was crypto. So in a way, crypto saved my life, gave me an opportunity
That's
to
crazy.
start over. I've been in debt. I've been like in situations. I usually was pretty good all the way up until like 25 on paying my bills on time. It wasn't until then, like my banks, like when I didn't have banks and like it was harder to find work, and I was just like freelancing for myself. I was like, okay, I'm using crypto, but the esports industry wasn't enough. So this year I left esports. I got a random plumbing job, this random Twitter post. Twitter is like amazing because I've been using it since I was 13 years old, and almost every single opportunity or deal I've had is through Twitter. That's how I met Mercy. That's how I met you guys, and that's just how like I connect with other people online and in person. I saw this video. It's like, okay, fly out to San Francisco. We'll pay for your lodging. We'll pay for your food. And it's like a 3 to 4 month acceleration program. You can like accelerate your business. Excuse me. Basically, I was already working on an app. This app was Uplift. The reason I was working on this app was the last 2 years of my life, I was stuck caretaking for like a disabled family that I had moved into to help. I didn't know it was like super, super bad. So like by month 6 of living there, I realized I was stuck. I had like four or five different sources of income when I moved in. At the end of year 2, a year and a half, I had like one source of income. I was ready to quit esports, even though I was traveling around the world for free and doing all these cool things. Like my actual living environment was terrible. It was like toxic. It was just really bad. And I kind of just hit that point. It's like, okay, I've hit a lot of rock bottoms. I've been homeless. I've done this. I've done that. I've had these moments of like failure, but I think I'm gonna draw the line here. Like it's really bad. So I quit esports. I left. I was like, you know what? I'm done. All of it. I got a regular plumbing job. I installed this app. This app was like a productivity app. It's just something very simple, like a command station.
Oh no!
No, man,
No,
this
he was
guy's got a
cooking.
fascinating story.
What happened?
That's what
He
happens
was
when you hit
cooking.
exit accidentally.
It's all
you
good.
got-
There we
You're
go.
good. Keep going.
act
Keep
like
going.
nothing happened.
Like a OS for my life, right? So it was just kind of like out of a place of like hopelessness, no more options. I was backed against the corner and I wanted to just get the fuck out. Like I needed to do something to change my life. So I installed this app. It's like, okay, I'm gonna gamify my life. It's like solo leveling. I'm gonna go from 0 to 100, just maximize everything in one spot, just one app and everything. It was a dud. I was so disappointed that I spent like $20. Like it was like day by day, like, okay, how am I making $10 to $20?
That's when
today?
apps are selling you hope.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, this is my dream. I've wanted to become an entrepreneur since I was 14. I've done all these things. Let's go back to my roots, my childhood. I'm gonna like vibe code this app. I'm gonna take all the best ideas that it sold me on, that emotion, and I'm gonna put this into like everything. So I went all in. The program came, the Delta online competition to get the free funding to SF. I got accepted. I quit my job in the middle of the program, didn't tell anyone. It was a 3-week program. And then I'm like, I have no money. I have no one. And I'm like, dang, like I need to win this or else I'm screwed. Like I'm just going to sit here in my bed trying to like rebuild my life and my future for the rest of my life.
How old are you? How old are you right now?
I'm 27. I'm
27,
27.
okay.
So I didn't win the program. My dog passed of 18 years 2 days before the sprint ended. I remember someone launched a token for the project 2 days before my dog passed, and that was 4 days before the competition ended. So I remember that happened, and I was like, what is this? It was launched on Bags app, and Bags app.
So wait. Someone launched a token on your behalf on Bags.
Yeah, and then they assigned me the fees.
Okay.
So I was
Got
like,
it.
what is this? Like, I'm not sure, but I was in such a like rough situation. I saw it as like an opportunity, as like a blessing. Like a community came to me and self-validated my idea and provided me just enough runway to buy a ticket to start over.
That's why. And so wait. So how did people discover that you were building something
So
to even do the token on Bags app?
So it's kind of crazy. So this competition, the 3-week competition, where all this like crazy stuff happened. Every catalyst, I like doubled down even harder. But when it started, they asked us, they were like, we're not like an official program, we're not an official thing. If you guys want to build a community, that's up to you guys. You can own the community, you got to start it yourself and run it. Cool. I did it within an hour. I even threw a giveaway for $15 for like some random person who ended up being my roommate. I convinced them to move from South Korea over to SF with me. And I built a community of almost 1,000 people. And so I was building in public. The goal of the program is like build in public, you might earn your spot, right? Like if you're building in public and you get a lot of validation, that's good, right? That's good for the judging, that's good for the community, that's good for agency. So I was like, okay, that's what I'm good at. I've been building communities since I was a kid. And so because of that, I like kind of already had a good foothold on like the talent and like just like who was around. So when the program ended and I didn't win, all that stuff happened, my dog passed, and the token was launched, I had a choice, you know. I was like, do I just sit here for the rest of my life and ask, you know, what if I won the competition and went to San Francisco and like just like try to make it out and like do the same thing I've been doing for the last, well, I was kicked out at 18. And I got into Babson University, which is my top choice, but it wasn't a full ride. So I decided to go out and just start a business and like try to figure out how to live. So I was failing since I was 18. So like, I guess all those years, the past 9 years, like, am I going to just do the same thing? Or am I going to just like keep betting on myself like I have the last month and like take this momentum and traction and not let it die out? Am I going to do something with it? Am I going to make a choice and take this big leap of faith into like the void? Like, I don't know what's going to happen. So I was like,
what were you building? What did the app do?
Uplift. So Uplift was Uplift is a cross OS platform for AI agents. So we actually just updated our website the last 30 minutes ago. We completely changed our website for a more cleaner look. But what we basically do is we give you one single focal point and command line or prompt or voice to voice, one command center to manage all your apps, all of your agents, configure them online or offline, and store all of that data locally and online. So,
and is your background in AI, like what kind of gives you the qualification to build this? Or if you don't, like what's the technical background to build something like this?
Yeah, so it's not just me. I have a team. I have a very technical co-founder who has experience in a $15 million valuated startup in AI, as well as another AI startup called Audit Brew. And we also have a team of advisors. One of our advisors is in AI and robotics, worked for a company generating a few million in ARR. And yeah, I mean, I have a small technical background, but I'm more focused on building out the ecosystem for the platform to live in, that layer, which would include like events, hacker houses, office spaces, just a hub in SF, and the Uplift would come in and help accelerate those peer-to-peer relationships, in-person relationships.
Got it. And maybe talk to us about the event. Like, how did you get connected with Mercy? Just DM'd Mercy and was like, hey, I'm in SF. I have an event space. Do you guys want to bring founder.run out here? Like, how did that all go down? Because like full disclosure, we don't usually have projects on MCG that are like sub 100K market cap typically. Right. Even that is tough because it's just too PvP. Like people front run the chart and like people are trading it as it's just crazy. So, but we liked your energy. I was like, yo, this guy is got a great story. We reached out to Mercy and said, hey, like, Matt was thinking of hopping on, like, give us a little back chat. We saw you tagged in one of Mercy's tweets. And then we're like, all right, let's get Matt in. Let's see what Matt's doing and then talk a bit about what happened. So that's like the background to all this, just so you know.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, of course we want to support you. It's just too PvP when you have low market cap, you know, projects coming on MCG.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, Mercy and the whole ICM.run team, they're amazing. They came out to SF a few weeks ago, and we had an event here. I helped host one of the events. They had multiple events. but yeah, no, we connected through X. And basically, since I landed in SF, since I had like no network, no job, no anything, I just kind of went all in again. So I just hit the boots on the ground. I went to as many events as possible and just used all of the skills and failures and lessons that I learned throughout life. Like, how do I build a successful event? How do I find the KOLs of the event, the decision makers of the deal? How do I like plant the seeds of the relationship and build a good relationship, because I want to do business and I will provide the best, most valuable service at the most fair, valuable relationship deal as possible, because it's about building the community and providing value. And those are the words that I'm taught from the advisors who already come from a successful place. They don't have to worry about money. They don't have to worry about running a business. They're just consulting. They're just there to help and build. I'm all about that. So I think Mercy really just saw that. I was hustling out here and building a community. And since it aligned with ICM and what they stand for, and I'm very pro Solana, pro ICM, just pro Web3 in general. I'm all about the founder and builder space. It just made sense for us to work together. He reached out, we ended up chatting, vibing, and I'm super pumped. I'm going to Abu Dhabi next week. I'm gonna go see Mercy again. I'm not sure if you guys are going.
Of course, MCG is gonna be there.
Okay, let's go. So we'll link up there and have some fun. I'm only there for like 3 days, but this is my first Web3 conference ever, so I'm super pumped. I've never traveled. I just got my passport, so I've never traveled internationally alone since I was a kid. So yeah, super excited. I think I'm gonna try to get some Uplift merch as well to wear before I leave.
We'll get
you're running into a deadline. You got to get to it.
Yeah, I know. I got 7 days. I'm gonna walk into a local manufacturer and be like, hey, like I need this tomorrow, and it's gonna look like this, and this is gonna be fire.
We're gonna get you some MCG gear as well, which is supposed to be coming today. I'm supposed to see our MCG t-shirts today, which I'm super fired up about.
Yeah.
So we'll see you in Abu Dhabi, and we should actually just like record some content. Like you seem 100%. Like you're a big content guy. I mean, we obviously built a business on content.
So that's what I'm actually getting ready for. I just got my Seeker phone, and I have 2 other phones for content. I only had this 14. Last week, but then I was like, I'm going on my first trip. I completely wiped my TikTok. I met some cracked content creators and founders out here, and they just given me so many good words of advice. I was like, dude, like, what am I doing? I need to do content too. Like, I can't just post on X. I can't just post on LinkedIn. I gotta do it all. Like, I gotta really, just go for it.
You're like in the perfect position to do content. You're always doing these events. I mean, you're going these places. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not? That's sick though. What events are you going to be doing up in Abu Dhabi? Do you know? Is it Met Dhabi, maybe a couple days of Breakpoint?
Yeah, I have Breakpoint, Met Dhabi. There's like tons on Luma, and like I just I did the SF standard tactic and applied to every single one of them.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. So my calendar looks there's no empty space in my calendar. I'm sure I'm like quadruple booked for like 20 time slots.
I haven't done that yet. Dom, have you booked events for Met Dhabi?
No,
yet?
So that's what okay. So maybe tell me the strategy here, because like you said, you go on Luma. There's 20 events a day.
Dom and I are going to be doing nothing because it's all going to be filled with the crypto degens.
Well, for me, there's like also I'm going to be raising some capital there. So there are some like VC events that I'm targeting, VC founder events that are there. So those are the ones I'm mostly looking forward to. And then like it's just nice to have options to cherry pick from, because if the event books out or you don't, it's nice to have options, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you meet someone and then you really want to chop it up, but they're about to go to this event and like, oh no, you didn't sign up in time, so missed out on your opportunity. I wanna be early. I'd rather be early than late.
So maybe that's the play. I was just kind of waiting to wing it and see what happens, but maybe I just go and sign up for everything I want to do and just have it ready to go. So Wait, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier. You said, Twitter's been something you've been using since you were 13. It's great for opportunities. How do you specifically take advantage of opportunities? What's like the best tip of advice you could give our listeners here? Because I do agree with this. I resonate with this mindset where it's like anything you want to do, you can probably do it through Twitter, meet somebody through Twitter, get a job through Twitter. What's the biggest piece of advice you'd give these people?
It's funny because I used to get bullied for this as a kid when I lived up in Boston, and there's this thing called we call each other followers. Don't be a follower, right? Don't be a follower. Don't be that guy. Don't just be a follower. So when you're using Twitter, and what that means is get outside your comfort zone. Don't do just what everyone else does. Don't just copy post other people's tweets that are going viral. Don't just be a reply guy. Get out of your box, get out of your comfort zone, and engage in DMs and really try to make an effort to build a real connection with that person, right? Because at the end of the day, we're humans. We're not just a Twitter profile. You don't know someone's life based off their social media profile. Get to know someone, really look to connect and build something. I think you'll find a lot of value just getting out of your comfort zone and making that initial effort, because usually the first person that makes the effort is the one that's initiating where you're going to go with the conversation. Be that person. Take initiative.
So get comfortable being uncomfortable is what you're saying.
Yep. That's how I ended up here.
Don't overthink stuff either. Like there's so many times that we're like overthinking tweets. I'm like, guys, just post content, get it out there. Who cares?
Yeah. Who cares? If it doesn't hit, just delete it. Like no one cares.
Delete it. Exactly. No one cares about your tweet.
Yeah,
it just shows up on people's phones, and I agree.
Yeah.
So can you kind of run us through the vision here, what you're doing? And again, you have this relationship with Mercy now, and you're kind of, I think, heading up some stuff in San Francisco. What is it exactly you're doing there? Do you have a house, a content house? Are you doing a hacker house? Like, just
what's the relationship with ICM Run? Do you have a formal relationship, or are you just kind of like the guy in San Fran that invites people to events?
So there's
not to diminish that role. That's an important role.
Right. There's no official. There's a lot of stuff up in the air and behind the scenes that I'm working on, and nothing. There's no official title. I'm very, very focused on Uplift and the development of the product there, and making sure that is the main priority and focus. So we're focused on raising for Q1 and launching our marketplace and having the product ready for that, and just doing all the marketing around that. I have a lot of job offers right now for like growth in social media from like just startups in SF. And I will be working, with some Web3 initiatives that are in talks that I'm not sure how much details I can reveal about that. But, I've met with a lot of people in the last, since August. So I was meeting with some of the MoonPay reps in August before I came out here, and just planting some seeds before I focused on like the local. And then I've come back to reconnecting with those seeds that I planted in October and this last month in November as well. So a lot of moving parts, a lot of things up in the air. Ideally, it would be nice to have a office where we can have a hub out here. We could do like Web3, Web2 events. Eventually a hacker house where we're doing content, we're running a program, we're running the best house in SF. I have experience running houses before, not just in like the gaming industry, but also in a peer-to-peer space. Hackathons also, like whatever private dinners, just a lot of things in talks, nothing officially announced yet. But yeah, just a lot of moving parts. So pretty exciting. Just I'm not sure what I can say yet. So
that's sweet, dude. We gotta get up to SF sometime and see what you got going on, what it's all about. But I think how do you like San Francisco, by the way? Because I feel like I've heard the vibes, especially for builders and startups, is just like it's immaculate. That's where you got to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been asked, I wanted to get out of Virginia for a long time. It was just really hard to like figure out what felt right. I booked my one-way ticket for $150 out here with not knowing where I was going to sleep, with getting rejected to the residency, and not knowing if I was coming out here alone or not. And not to mention that everything is like 3 to 4x the price out here. It's really expensive. Yeah. There is a lot of like there's a lot of like homelessness down in the city. So it's not all sunshine and rainbows over here, for sure. So there was a lot of risk and like just uncertainty coming out here. Like I didn't know like what I was gonna get, but yeah, it's immaculate. The vibes are crazy. Everyone's super locked in. Like we ended up coming out here with the team and getting into the residency, and everyone's just super ambitious. So you see that and you're motivated. And if you're not doing it, then like you're probably gonna go homeless. And you see that every day. So everyone's like either like you see the extremes of both. Like you're gonna raise millions of dollars, or you're gonna leave the state, or you're gonna go homeless. And I don't want to leave the state. I don't want to go homeless. So
Yep. So you gotta do it.
Yeah. So I have to do it. So yeah.
I have to ask about this table right here. First off, what a dish is this? Because that looks delicious. Is that tom yum soup or something like that?
Dude,
What
I'm
is
too
that?
hungry
Yeah.
doing this right now.
It was like a spicy bowl of like ramen or noodles or something. It was amazing. I'm a soup guy.
I love it.
I love like pho and like Vietnamese
Is
food.
it sour? Is it sour spicy or?
I think that was
Thai is very stiff. They
Yeah.
like the sour soups.
It was Thai. I don't remember if it was sour. It was spicy though. It was
Okay.
spicy.
He
Yeah.
remembers
I
that.
see you met an absolute like squad here. We got
Yeah.
Can you zoom that in, Josh?
Kitty, Web3 Adam, you got Bowski from Dow's Fun, Wenzel, shout out Wenzel, Profit, BBPC. I don't know if I've met BBPC, but like, all right, there's a squad here.
Yeah.
How
yeah,
did you like, all right, like, I don't know, you got connected on X, all of a sudden you're meeting kind of like the forefathers of ICM. Like, what is going on here? And we got to wrap this in like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
So let's.
So yeah, bullish on ICM and what all the guys are doing there. I think that they're all the mentors. Honestly, I told them this at the event and before the event and before we even thought of doing the event. Just the whole vibe, like they're just so down to earth. So the whole time I've been in SF, I've been to all these events, met these amazing people, met people who've raised millions of dollars, who invest millions of dollars, all blah blah blah, right? And it's just amazing, right? Everyone's cracked, and not to downplay it, but I told these guys at ICM.run, they're the most down to earth, real people I've ever met since I've been in SF. I felt the most comfortable, I felt the most welcome, and I didn't feel judged, or I just felt at home. So I really, I really respected that, and that's something I want to surround myself with. Those are the type of people I want to surround myself with.
We absolutely agree. We love these people. All these people on here have been very kind to us as well, and so we appreciate all of them. Soju, the Meteora team, has been huge supporters of what we do, and it's allowed us to build a business. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's really
that's the
relieving.
thing. It's like
Really
ICM.
relieving.
Whether it's SOAR, whether it's MetaDAO, all the different kind of people building in the space are good human beings. Like I've not met one ICM founder. Maybe there's one. There is one where they rugged pretty hard, but we won't mention on stream. But everyone else since then has been great. Has been like Maya from Street is lovely. Bob Builder is wild and great, and Top Fundler. I don't know who you're talking
Dimitri
about.
from yesterday.
We don't even mention Dimitri from yesterday. Yeah, man. Look, we want to. Daddy Duster. This is exactly right. Here's a young guy trying to make it in SF. We want to highlight it. Homeless multiple times, but pulled it out, made it happen, and here he is. He's going to be going to Abu Dhabi with the crew, and I don't think I can end it any better than that. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, keep an eye out for me at Abu Dhabi. I'll be holding a gimbal in one hand, holding a camera in another hand, and I'll probably be wearing a QR code with the ticket or something.
Let's link up. Let's link up. I'll give you the MCG live account even, and we can kind of do a little something with that too. It would be great. So we want to cover it all.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. Let's plan for that. But yeah, no, everyone on ICM.run, great team. I'm just super grateful to have met them. It's just really nice to have people that that it just doesn't feel transactional,
Yeah.
I always preach that, like, you don't want a relationship to feel transactional. Like if it feels transactional, run. These guys do the complete opposite of transactional. They're very, they care. They're very uplifting, and they don't expect anything back.
Yeah,
And
Mercy has fed us, definitely.
Yeah.
Has fed us for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, Mercy's like,
Everyone
super
eats
connector.
when they work with Mercy. So
Yeah, I'm grateful for Mercy. Mercy's a super connector. He really cares about the people, he cares about the industry, cares about the work. That's hard to see all of that sometimes.
yeah, we'll bring the
so-
next great ICM founder to ICM Run, Matt. Go out in SF. You're at the dinners. You're out there.
Yeah.
You're a hustler. Go make the connection with the next big AI $1 trillion company. We want them to come through ICM Run, so the fees go back to stakers.
Right.
And yeah, that's what Matt's here for. The hustler.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, man.
Awesome, Matt. Hey, thanks for coming on. This was a pleasure. We're excited to see you in Abu Dhabi, and yeah, best of luck to you, man. Keep grinding.
Thank you. Have a good time, guys, and thank you for hosting.
Appreciate you.
You guys saw the new Dupe Treasury update?
Yeah,
No.
let's cover some stuff because I think we're about to get into some spicy stuff here, boys.
Is that
So
right?
lock
Yo,
in.
Yeah. We gotta cover a little something before
Everyone lock in.
Yeah, we gotta cover a little something. But yeah, let's I'll bring up the Dupe chart and you can pull up the Dupe tweet, whichever one you want to do first.
Okay, sweet. One sec. Gotta find Dupe.
While you do that, let me hit up the Dupe chart. Let's see where we are. Where are we in the stream of time with Dupe?
They were just on TVPN too not long ago, which is pretty cool.
Dom's. We'll do chill. We'll start with chill, and then Dom. I don't know if you have some fundamental stuff. Okay.
Yeah, let me see here. I just want to see if we're actually So it's kind of like multi-week downtrend. We're finally starting to break out of it. Honestly, I didn't even know why we started like trending down like this, to be honest. I was really confused by this downtrend, not gonna lie. But looks like we're finally doing it. We're finally breaking out of it. I gotta actually do like a lot of recharting on Dupe's chart. But yeah, let's pivot to the treasury. Let's see what they came out with. What's fueling this pump?
Do you want me to pull up the treasury or you got it?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
pull it up.
I have the tweet too. Do you want to read the tweet first? We go.
Yeah.
We'll go tweet first. Why not?
Yeah.
So they just put out this tweet. A lot of discussion around ownership coins is justified. People should want something tied to real value, but unclear US regs exist where one token equals one share or something close. Every workaround on the market is a band-aid at best, and with new regs, they'll all likely become a downgrade. The strongest model today isn't pretending a token is equity. It's trying to network activity. For Dupe, this makes sense because our revenue grows geometrically in the face of compounding network activity. While it's true for us, it might not be true for other products, so that should follow their own value models. If you believe in the network, you should also be able to buy Dupe, but you should also be able to earn Dupe by making the network more valuable. It a la shopping, sharing, creating demand, driving the flywheel. Tokens that work when the network works are the future, perhaps even the future. What? Oh, perhaps even the future we're betting on. Okay. I was like, what? But yeah, so I guess he had an episode here with the Salon Foundation with Pedro. So I guess go ahead and watch it here. This looks to be a clip though, full episode below. Yeah, there we go on Spotify and Apple. But I think also with this, he dropped a Dupe Treasury dashboard, which I will then pull up as we speak. So boom, here's the Dupe Treasury. You can see Dupe Treasury total. Oh, dude, and shout out
Can you zoom it in?
Chungus. Yeah, he Chungus here looks like he made this Dune dashboard. But the Dupe Treasury has three parts: Dupe, Sol, Memecoin Treasury holdings, including 1.1% Lulcoin, 1.2% Cled. Let's go. 0.3% Startup, 0.3% Orgo. Look at that. Look,
Hey, he's an Orgo. Yeah.
look at the emoji for Believe, bruh.
Wait, I can't see it.
Zoom it in.
Can you
bro.
zoom in?
Yeah.
That's crazy. 0.2% believe.
0.2%
No,
Believe.
that's wild work.
Links to all the wallets. Total supply owned. Dang, bro. Dupe owns 25% of their own supply at this point. Let's go, bro. That's crazy. They're putting in work. Dupe Treasury total, $3,479,897. Dupe in USD owned 2.87 million. Solana in USD owned 200K. Meme coin treasury 400K. That's kind of a big portion of the treasury, low key, in memes. But I guess a lot of when he says memes, I guess that includes Kled and Orgo as well, which are obviously not memes. So there you go. Here are some numbers. Pretty cool. You can track it now. I'm glad that they made this. People can, track live time. Here's the breakdown. Good. And yeah, that's it. So there's a Dupe Dune dashboard. We like.
I like it. It looks solid. Honestly, I love the transparency. Just around, like, just the contents of the treasury and all that. Like, I think that's all pretty good. I think every project honestly should have something like that. I think MetaDAO projects, they come with that, right? I don't know if they come with a dashboard. They come with a treasury, but I don't know if it's like as transparent as something like this.
Yeah, this is sick. Let's see what else. I felt like I saw something else that was pretty cool. Anything you guys want to cover in the meantime while I look for this?
I got some kind of higher time frame stuff. I don't know if you guys want to. All right, let's do it real quick.
Pump's bouncing nice today,
dude. Like everything, I just want you guys to see, like, real quick. Literally everything is like bouncing like crazy today. And you can share my screen whenever you're ready. Let me take this off.
There you go.
Boom. All right. So we literally, like, Bitcoin, apparently, buyers waited for MCG to go live to actually pump markets. We were just down here not too long ago when we were talking about this SFP that I saw, and then bang, we shot up. We have pump. We were just talking about this, Josh. What didn't even break the downtrend completely.
How's it looking today? They're not bad.
Not bad at all. I mean, look, just off from Monday, we're up 26%. So here's what I'm seeing across the board. You look at Bitcoin first. You see that Bitcoin is running into this resistance here. It's a key level. If we break this is like lid off the market. Things will start to fly. Or we break down and we kind of continue to chop. So we watch Bitcoin to see what it does. If it goes above 93K, I think a lot of things go crazy. Now that we're inching up to this level, that's when we've seen, and this is technically, like, I would even describe this as like an MSB, like a market structure break, because this is where kind of you see us starting to consolidate a little bit. The price action on a little time frame looks ugly, but you see us kind of consolidating a little bit. When we break this, that means we just made a higher low, but then we also made a higher high, right? So that's what we're looking for. That would be super bullish. But as you can see, this is the market structure break on Bitcoin, but on other things like Fartcoin, it's already went through the market structure break there. On Pump, it's already went through its market structure break there. On a few other things, it's already kind of went through its market structure break. Yesterday, we were talking about Near Protocol, how it broke down below this like multi-month support level in 2025. Like this $1.80 level was like key. It just reclaimed that. Here today. I think Hype is a nice little bounce here over the last few hours. Like, a lot of things are going crazy right now. Sui is another one. Again, it's kind of gone through its. I don't think that's a full market structure break, I would say, but I mean, you see the pump there is actually looking pretty nice. So why is everything pumping? According to DeFi Wimar, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but everyone is buying. Wintermute, Binance, Whales, Coinbase, BitMEX, Bitfinex. I don't know if this is coordinated or what, but there's a ton of buyers in the market. On top of that, I'd like to share with you guys a video And I think I have to stop sharing and reshare so the audio actually plays. So I'll do that real quick. But I really think this video is super funny. And here it is. And you guys.
Yeah, sorry,
Perfect.
Chell. Sorry,
No,
Chell.
you're good.
Drafted
You're
a
good.
tweet on you. Here.
No, you're good.
Cannot hear you, brother.
Yeah, don't hear. Oh, there we go.
Need it, bro.
Printing. So Fed just pumped 13.5 billion into the US banking system.
Oh,
That's
wow.
the second largest liquidity injection ever, just behind COVID. So yeah, we're printing, boys. We're printing.
Did it say why is it? Are they backstopping some of the unrealized losses on the bonds? I don't know if that's still a thing.
Actually, the Kobisi letter, he was talking about this the other day. The US banking system is showing a lot of weakness. And so I guess they had to just provide some sort of liquidity to backstop. Let me see here. It was around the losses. Banks have been experiencing still a lot of losses. And let me see if I can find this. Let me see. I did not save the tweet, but it was posted very, yeah, here it is. Unrealized losses at banks remain historically elevated. Unrealized losses, and I'll bring this chart up as well. So unrealized losses on investment securities for US banks reached almost 340 billion in Q3 2025. That marks the 14th consecutive quarter of losses, matching the 2006 to 2009 streak. Furthermore, this figure is 6 times higher than the peak seen in 2008 during the big financial crisis. Such pressure comes as elevated bond yields and et cetera, et cetera. But the number of banks on the FDIC problem bank list rose to 53 last quarter, or 1.3 of the total. Unrealized losses remain an issue for banks. So there's been this whole whole thing going on with banks where they're basically losing cash. With fractional reserve banking, they take all bank deposits and put them to work in the market, whether it's buying treasuries or what have you. But what this basically is saying that a lot of these banks are not profitable in that way. And so someone needs to step in order to save the banks. And, here comes the Fed, essentially.
Yeah, this is, if I remember correctly, all these bonds were issued when interest rates were really low. So once interest rates went really much higher, the bonds became a lot worthless because you could just go directly to the Fed and get 4%, 5% interest rate. So that's where these unrealized losses are coming from. Because those bonds are fairly illiquid, it basically, when customers are withdrawing their funds and saying, hey, give us our money, we want our money, we realize you have losses, I want my money out of the bank. It's kind of like a bank run. And essentially that's what the bank or the Fed is backstopping. Because if you think about how a bank operates, they take your capital, they go earn a 5% interest rate. But during 2022, they were earning a 0.25% interest rate. So yeah. Hey, Chill's making fun of me. I get it, but
we gotta have some fun, man. We gotta have some fun.
I'm giving a little bit of little bit of understanding of what's going on because people don't realize what all this means.
Yeah,
guys,
100%.
is hosting the next SOAR launch before they launch bullish? Clearly, the team's confident that the snipers are just not going to be able to touch
Yeah,
them.
I know, of course.
Maybe it's a rate, maybe it's a flat raise or something. I don't know. We'll see. I guess these are all questions we can have answered shortly. Are we good to fire away on that, or?
Yeah.
I think so. Morphus retweeted it out already. So
And sorted.
All right. Here's the new link. Just give me a second. Sorry. We do this live out here, giving you a clean stream link, Morphus, trying to give you guys a clean stream link to retweet out.
And by the way, I'm not seeing for all the viewers, I'm still watching the SOAR platform. Morphus, welcome. Appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, sweet. Can you hear us?
We
You guys
can,
sound
yes.
Great.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
thanks. Great to be here.
So are we with Norbu and Duke? I'm assuming.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm Duke.
Yep.
Nice.
So I guess the best place to start, just kind of introduce yourselves. Who are we talking to, and we can kind of bridge into what you're building. But welcome to the show. Maybe we can start with Norbu and then Duke.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm Norbu Snoshiva. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Morphist AI, and
Yeah, Duke Jones. So yeah, CTO, co-founder, Morphist AI. Should we give you a little background, or?
Please.
Yeah, I think let's get into your background a little bit. And by the way, Norbu, your name is sick. Like that's an
Thanks,
awesome
man.
name. Norbu Shnosiva. Is that
I'll
how it's
also
pronounced?
love the hat, by the way, too. Like, you know.
yeah,
solid.
thank you. It's a brand.
Yeah. So let's hear a little bit about your backgrounds. Like you said, Duke, we'd love to kind of get to know who you guys are and the people that are behind Morphist here, and then we'll get into what you guys are building. So maybe a bit, what got you into AI, what got you interested in tech, and why are we here today?
Yeah, sounds good. My background is in design and UI development and user experience and performance marketing, and then I've just been so empowered by AI myself, using all different kinds of AI tools in my realms, and coding with AI has been a game changer. And in using those tools, I just discovered that one, my data is being used however, and I don't own it. It's like scattered across various clouds. And two, I just feel like the UI and the experience of using AI is just like at the MySpace stage right now. And we want to transform that into a much more cohesive and fun, usable experience. And so that's kind of like how we got to Morphist. Duke and I were dreaming. We were at a decentralized event in Healdsburg, and we were just dreaming together what we would like it to look like. And we were just like, this is the thing, we're doing it. And so we jumped in. That was like in June.
Mhm.
And we've just been cranking and really excited to bring this forward.
Sweet.
yeah.
And Duke, maybe we can hear a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a technologist for a really long time, and yeah, just in the Bay, working on startups and large companies, and then startups and large companies. Crypto happened and kind of went off to the races, and then I was in between projects, and then AI hit, and so I ended up getting involved with like a DAO and just a group of folks online as we were watching this seismic shift happen, like where everything in terms of the possibilities available to us, like it was shifting so rapidly. And then GPT-4 came out. I'm like, oh, dang. And then they were like, okay, GPT-4 Turbo, it costs like 10x less. And it's the exact same model, but like all the like model artisans were like, this is not the same. And so we started to learn about actually quantization in how the models work, and we're like, oh, they're quantizing the model weights and giving us access to the kind of like lightweight versions. And then it started to become clear that we don't really have a lot of control over what they do. And my background is in cryptography and security, and worked on a bunch of big systems and also small systems. And like it has been so good to finally have something where people are starting to care about privacy. Because there's a small group of people who care a lot about privacy, but the majority of people just want their Facebook. But with AI, we're seeing like our conversations are not really owned by us, right? They're scattered across different platforms, and it started to look at it from a systems perspective. And it's like, as we fast forward to what AI gives us is used in more and more places, in more and more ways, we got to own our own business.
Can we talk about that a bit, Duke? I feel like, yes, people are kind of waking up to their privacy. But it seems like many are just unaware at the fact that everything they put into ChatGPT, whether it's for the business, whether it's for stuff that should maybe only be shared with the lawyer, whatever it is, it's not their data. And ChatGPT has that data and it's probably selling it. And ChatGPT is not the only one. Could you maybe touch on that? And just, I think a lot of people miss it. So maybe explain how that works.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think, and there's so much information nowadays, it's hard to kind of parse out what's real and what's not and how to think about things. But really, like, you go onto the ChatGPT website, you're typing to GPT, it's answering you, it's hitting, when you send a message, it's hitting all the OpenAI's servers and it's going through massive computation and then comes back with an incredible answer. But this whole process is going through all of their servers. And so even the answer, when you log back into ChatGPT later and you see your conversations, that's coming off of OpenAI's servers. They own all of that, except what you've copied and pasted. And anyone who heavily uses AI, I mean, copy paste fatigue is real.
Yeah, and also it's attached to your identity. So each of those platforms, you're associating your email and password or your personal identity with all of the information. So not only are you sharing it, it's like shadow associated with big marketing platforms and whatever without your permission. Like you do opt in the EULA, but you don't know that that's happening very much. Most people just click through. And so that association is a key piece that we would like to break.
Completely.
Would you say that's sort of like you said, association or issue that led you guys to going all in on Morphus AI?
Yeah, it's a huge piece. I mean, it's a two-pronged thing. We personally want the experience of using AI to be better, or three, I guess. And then also the fact that my stuff was spread across all different platforms, even outside of the privacy part, just the utility of like, oh, did I ask that in ChatGPT, or was that on Grok, or was that on Gemini? Like, where did I ask that 3 months ago? And having to go search through whatever long history and then copy paste if I want to reuse it. It's like, it's an awful user experience, and we're just going to solve that whole thing. And then the privacy part is our life mission. So like, especially Duke has been working for a long time in that field. I've been working in decentralized systems with Holochain and other companies in order to create a better world where the paradigm is different. Instead of everything being given without awareness, like you're saying, people don't even know that this is happening. We want to shift it so that is all by permission and with awareness.
And is as easy to use or easier. Actually, that's why I really had to work with Norbu for this, is that his attention to detail in terms of user experience, like it is like the littlest things of like, oh, I had to push an extra button. It took, it's not beautiful. Like he is just, is exactly what we need to actually make something that, because, honestly, privacy is not a selling point. It's something that is vital to me. And I think soon it will be as things get kind of crazy with generative AI, but beautiful, easy to use, like gives you that kind of like window or like your own workspace into what's going to be most of your work in your world is how you interact with AI.
Yeah, you hear it all. You hear it all the time. People are calling data the new oil, right? And people don't realize a lot of these companies, tech companies, Google, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it might be, they're really data companies on the back end with a front-facing social app or LLM or whatever it might be. And so it's just a really interesting conversation. And I would love to hear about what you guys are building now and how you fix this, or how you're working to fix this, and what it is exactly you guys do.
Yeah, like so on the surface level, it's something that is useful, beautiful now, push to talk, voice first, AI with a kind of local workspace that you are not locked into any particular model. So it's, every model, one elegant interface. Mm-hmm. And then as we go on, the backend infrastructure that I'm building for that is really lending itself to be able to route your information wherever you choose. Like you have voice that's streaming, and then it starts to, it does text to speech, or sorry, speech to text, and then like that gets sent to all the various, to whichever model you choose, and then like we can start to have that be a jumping off point for things like agentic AI, where you can start to orchestrate multiple agents acting on your behalf in a kind of ongoing way. And like it's just like the design patterns in San Francisco. There's a bunch of hackathons right now on like, hey, make your agent, make a new agent system or use our X. Like it's like we're really just figuring out how to fit the software pieces together. Kind of like DeFi is so developed in that way, like money Legos, but like with agentic AI, like we're just scratching the surface.
Totally. And there's like a roadmap piece, right? The first offering of Morphist is an AI workspace that is doing what we're saying. It gives you access to all models. Every question and every answer that you get is stored in one place that's searchable and taggable, so you aren't scattered across and trying to find which cloud you've got this stuff stored in. It's local first. So we have all of that in our first consumer product. And then we have a lot of things we want to do. There's some we can talk about and some that we can't. We have some partnerships in conversations now, but there's the world of wearables and hardware.
Yep.
There's the world of integrations. Like I was driving in my car the other day and I realized I absolutely want Morphist available with hands-free in my car, so I can use AI and ask questions when I'm on a long drive without it interrupting my flow or like distracting me from driving.
So a question that I had was kind of, what makes you guys different than anyone else trying to, provide this kind of decentralized access to AI? And you kind of just answered it, right? It's not just this kind of technology that you're putting out there. It's like kind of going beyond and looking into consumer products and really practical ways and how to use this. What's the overall vision here? Like, where do you guys see this? Where are you guys trying to take this exactly?
I mean, there's a meta conversation because of our core foundation in privacy and identity and flipping the script so that things are not being given and sold without your awareness. That's really Duke's foundational
Own
work.
your stuff.
And owning your stuff. And that the whole saying, right? If you're using it and it's free, then you are the product. And we don't want that. That's fine if you choose to do that. If you want to sell information, you should be able to choose to do that, and you should benefit from it instead of it being a shadow business that's happening in the background while you're using a free product. And so I think that's one of the main differentiators. And then also just the experience we have and the passion we have for usability combined with those two things, it sets us up to create the security and guardrails that people don't even know that they need, combined with a really interesting, useful, powerful, elegant tool that people want to use.
Okay, and so let's say it's 2026. I'm a consumer. I'm using Morphist. I open the app up on my desktop, mobile. What platform am I opening up on?
Yeah, right now we're launching on mobile first. We definitely will have a desktop version as well. All of that is in play. And the experience you'll have is voice first. So like, instead of it being text first with the option to turn on the voice, we have it really, really simple where you're not toggling on a thing and then waiting for it to spool up and then talking, and then maybe you forget that it's on, and it's like this awkward dynamic.
It is a bit clunky talking to ChatGPT.
Yeah, totally. So if you ever have used a Motorola radio before in the past, where you like, while you're holding the button, it's listening, and when you let go, it stops. We've got that integrated with the kind of, if you've used Telegram's voice memo or WhatsApp, where you can like hold it and then you slide it to lock.
Yeah.
We have push to talk and slide to lock as the default for Morphist. So you have this really easy to use dynamic and interface.
Got it. And so I just want to finish my thought here, Dom. So I'm using this app, I'm talking to it, and then it's sitting on top of all my LLM subscriptions like Grok and GPT, whatever, if I use Anthropic. and it's then filtering up conversations from all three of them. Like, just walk me through, like, how is it accessing those services? Like, are they allowing you to access those services? And then what is the output? Like, what do I see on my screen, or is it talking back to me with that output?
Yeah, and this is configurable, and this is based on like what you're doing in the moment. So we have different flows outlined in different mediums. So like, you know, let's then switch it up and talk about the desktop, because Norbu and I are really focused on getting the mobile app and getting it to be a place where you can have, because like you're saying, like what differentiates us, it's like when you find something that you feel like it should definitely be this way, and it's just so obvious, and then you look around and no one else is doing it, that's the one to go for, right? And that's what we see with Morphist.
Are you saying in the terms of like talking to the AI rather than texting or typing?
Yeah, and also like that, how come I can't search across every interaction that I've had? How come I can't do a contextual like a vector meaning search across all of the interactions I've had with the latest models in whatever context I happen to be in? Like, I think that was with Grok, and no, then I pulled it over and I wanted to get GPT's opinion, and then I copied it, pasted. Oh, no, this is the 5th version.
I literally did this last night. Yeah,
dude, it's the pain is real, and it's kind of like in software we use Git, and you make commits, and then you can go back to any point in time and fork it and try something different. Like, I want to have the exact same kind of thing for how we use AI, and it's permanently ours. We can just bring an existing thing over to GPT-6 when it comes out without having to like do a big copy paste marathon.
Yeah, you'll be able to switch midstream, like while you're having a conversation. If you decide you want to continue that conversation with a different model, you'll be able to do that. And the threaded way that we track the conversation keeps all of that organized and marked. You know which model you're talking about. If you want to go back and resubmit to one or even multiple models, you'll be able to do that.
So would you consider yourself sort of an AI aggregator workspace with local memory?
Yeah, in simple terms, yes. That is what it is. I don't love the term aggregator. Yeah.
There is actually one other piece that's in between the aggregator. There's a backend kind of proxy layer that will be sort of like your command center for how you want to kick it off and be able to have, let's say, even multiple models working together
in one conversation. So like, and even define parameters. You could have a pro opinion from Grok and an anti opinion from Gemini, and have that conversation, and then even add a third model that's doing deep research and generating a report out of everything that you see.
Yeah, different orchestration frameworks. There's so much interesting research happening right now. Like Stanford just came out with Storm Genie, I think a few months ago, which is what Norbu was describing. And it's just like there's all these like new ways of interacting that increases the effectiveness, and just, you know, it's a lot of fun too.
Yeah, and my focus will be making that a usable, not overwhelming experience. Even though you have all that option, I want it on the surface to be just super accessible to any person that doesn't know or care about all that complexity, but then also give the utility to people who want to do it. We've got like a special place in our hearts for people like ourselves that, you know, and like y'all, who you use multiple models every day. It's like part of your workflow. And so I want both. I want that capability, but then I also want the simple, easy, accessible, consumer-facing part that is not confusing.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a workspace and a command center. Like you at that point, it's not just like aggregating models together. It's like what model I use is secondary to what my intention is.
Noted.
And so I'll be able to draft it. Let's say, so I use it to draft tweets. You know, I think it's like a really good use case. Sometimes my English or grammar can be a little clumsy, and usually these models are very good. So I started in Grok last night. I didn't like the output. I went to ChatGPT, same thing. I said, hey, give me a tweet similar to like this style. Gave me a pretty good output. Then I had to copy it back. So is this like a platform where I just go to this Morphist, I put in my not even prompt. Like, do I talk to it? Do I like paste a prompt in, then talk to it? Or do I just say what I want from the tweet and it goes and does that?
Yeah. Well, let's say you bring up your tweet agent that
Okay.
you've refined what the system prompt is for that, where, I want you to act like this when I want you to like tune it for this
Okay.
purpose. And then, we have it, maybe you've chosen a custom voice for that agent, and you start out on the mobile and you're like, hey, we have this new thing and I'm really doing this tweet. And it's like, okay, how about this? How about this? And you're like, we'll do some research on that. It finds a bunch of research, too much to look at on your mobile. You bring it up on your desktop, you see it. And then let's say then it like pushes it through Claude Artifacts and you have like a nice like kind of chart and overview of it. Okay, I like this aspect. Make sure, okay, find something witty, and then link this research in.
And
it's
you're
like,
talking to it the whole time, like with voice,
Mhm.
and it's pulling it up on the desktop as well.
That's
in
the
real
idea.
time?
I mean, it's going to be a few before we can get there in terms of the
Okay.
technology. Like, we want to make sure that we have every piece in place, like really well with like high quality engineering. But yeah, that's what we're going for.
Yeah, interactivity across platforms and syncing across platforms is one of our key milestones. It's a big part of what we want to do. And the other piece is that all of this said, it is voice first. You will be able to do it through talking, and we aren't abandoning text input. You absolutely can paste something in if you want. Like if you're in a place where you can't really talk, you can still use it. There is a text interface. It's just not primary.
It seems pretty obvious, at least when you ask me, that we're like at some point bound to head in a direction where the AI is conversational rather than text, right? I just feel like that's a natural progression of AI. Why has no one else really gotten ahead of this?
I think two reasons. It's just like, why was MySpace the way that it was? It's because that's the first thing that was made, and then they just kept going, doubling down into what it was, and it has beauty in what it was. It was a free place. But then the world changed as people realized that the power and capability could be much more refined and more usable. And then things shift. We just have landed in the right place at the right time with the right skills to take advantage of this gap.
And Duke, you use the word agents specifically rather than language models or something. Is there a reason you're calling these conversations agents rather than something else?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. And the term agent is kind of like being defined and redefined and misused, and really it's an interesting time. It's like, if for tech people, people who do agile, it's like it could mean anything. But yeah, like, why agent instead of model? Well, the model itself is kind of, I think of it as, and this is like, there's going to be people who disagree, like this is being redefined, but I think of the model itself as the like kind of set of neural networks that's deployed in a particular data center that you're communicating with. And the agent is kind of like if you ever seen that Shogoth meme, right, with the big monster that of all the like trained AI, and then it just has a little mask, which is like the reinforcement learning, like a little smiley face that you interact with. The agent is kind of like that smiley face in a way that you've put into place, where you're like, I want you to do this, act like this, I'm going to ask you like this, and I want professional response, or here I want lightweight, marketing oriented, or here it's like a very and also, as people, we're really geared to communicate with people. Like, so having an AI, even if it's the same model underneath, call itself something different, maybe have a different icon, maybe have a different voice. It's just kind of reduces cognitive load.
Yeah, and there's another piece too. There's like the bigger meta conversation about agent, right? Agents have agency. And so we both dream of the time, we talk about it all the time as we've been building Morphus. There's this consumer offering in the first version of this. And then there's the AI assistant that's beyond just communication and information. There's the agent that you trust to have your credentials and to take action on your behalf. So this is the very beginning into agents and agentic. And then as that develops, it'd be really rad if I could tell Morphus to go make an order for me or go set up an account for me. and that needs to be in a like a secure environment that I feel confident in is not misusing my data, my financial information, or whatever. And so we're building the foundation, that like secure local first foundation ahead of ourselves, so that when the time is right and when we're ready, we'll build more agentic
So
power.
you're building in credentials to Morphus. Like, maybe I'll say it this way. We talk about a project called Orgo who does computer use agents, and Orgo worked up until it had to log into something on YouTube to watch a video, and then YouTube was like, "Oh, you're probably an AI, like pass this human test," and it basically was a kind of a stop there. But it looked like at the model level, Anthropic Claude had kind of had some protections in there to not have it sign up for YouTube, is what I gathered. That is a really important piece, because this is like, you can use products, or you can prompt the AI to do stuff. It has your login details, or can create logins for you without you having to actively log in for it. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, this is an edge that we're pushing, and all of AI world is pushing this forward. And there's a bunch of barriers to making that happen, but we are already planning for it and building our roadmap to include these kinds of functionalities. It means a lot to us to have more than just a conversation, but to have like useful agency in the agents that we create and build, and having them inside of a framework that we trust, and an environment that's secure and local is like a big key piece, I think.
Well, this is where Web3 shines, right? This is like our way of showing up in a pseudonymous yet like verifiable way, and then being known, and starting to like, okay, this wallet address I'll associate with my identity now, so everyone knows. And it's I mean, it's been a big part of my background. I mean, I was part of co-drafting the first DID spec back in the day, decentralized identifiers. And it really is the future. And so one of the reasons we're choosing to launch a token instead of just like going and holding our hand out to VCs in the city.
Got it. So, I guess one question that I had was in regards to product. So you guys are talking about more so kind of consumer use cases. Is that kind of the best place for this, or is that the best kind of use for this? What's the overall? Where can this be integrated, I guess, is my question, outside of just the consumer?
Yeah, we have a pretty clear branch of our roadmap that's going to be a B2B offering. Everything we're building can be used as a service. And so Morphus can be implemented by businesses as the voice agent for a company. And that whole world is leveraging still our security and local first architecture. So we will be offering that as a service for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and all of our stuff we want to make kind of white labelable in the long run, because we're gonna I mean, how many products could benefit from having a AI that you can talk to in it? Like, probably most of them.
Right. And when are we thinking? Do you guys have any users right now? Is this kind of in beta testing? Like, can you give us any info on that side of things?
Yeah, it's currently in alpha right now. We're pushing hard to release the beta and get that up in the App Store, so we can start getting you all and any other people that are interested to test and help us out involved. That should be coming. I think we'll have a beta version this week.
Gotcha. So you have a beta version coming this week. I know you mentioned you had some partnerships in process, and you're kind of in talks, but not to ask about who you'll be partnering with, but more so kind of what partners would you be looking for? What kind of businesses would you want to partner up with, generally speaking?
I mean, my first gut response to that is people who businesses and people who share the same values. It's really important that as we build this business and as we scale, that we aren't losing the core values that we have. I'm not interested in money or partnerships with people that don't respect and understand privacy the way we do. And yeah, so I think that's my first response to that.
And I'll like, so one type of partnership is like, for instance, a particular group that's looking at making wearables for us, where it really is like a ambient push to talk. And then another kind of partnerships that we're developing is like, for instance, I won't.
Identity's up there.
Oh, nice. I won't say the name, but so I have a friend who his company is like, he's worked for years in kind of corporate, not exactly mediation, but helping guide communication in difficult settings where often there's miscommunication. And so he's developed scripts, like hundreds of scripts. And essentially he wants something he can drop those into and make it so that it can guide a process without having to have an expensive human. Like, he's trained people that do that function as real humans, but it's ideal for something like AI. And so it's kind of like, just, you know, we have these folks who have these needs, and it just is dropping in our laps like, oh wow, you really need this. Yes, let me know as soon as you're ready. That's what we're getting.
Got it. Sounds good. No, I appreciate you guys, and I love this conversation so far. I know Dom had a question before the next one I had.
Yeah, on the topic of partnerships, I go to your following and I see you're following a few people like the Frontier Tower, Cool Spot, and SF. Identity
Live due
TV.
diligence.
Yeah, Live Due Diligence.
Yeah,
Is there any
love it.
relationship between any of these, three entities here, either Identity, Frontier Tower, or Kuros Codex?
Yeah, well, I was part of the beginning of Frontier Tower, where I was helping out hold down the music floor for a bit. I've been sort of hunkering down and working, so I haven't been so involved. Identikey is actually the protocol suite that I founded for cryptographic identity and security, and I was going about it like a startup for a bit, but it's really shaping up to be more of a public good. Like, identity really needs to be universal, and also people haven't cared about privacy as much, and like, identity is not the funnest thing if you're a developer, and you just kind of like try to get the whole login thing over with. But where you store your usership is kind of where you have ownership or authority over your data, and ownership and authority over data is more and more important, especially in an area like AI. And so then hence it's like, oh, well, actually, this is, if we're going to get a product out that helps people immediately and has a need for security and privacy, then it's going to be Morphist.
Yeah, I mean, and that partnership is in place. You'll be able to log in with Identikey from the get-go as soon as Morphist launches, which is it'll sit there right next to sign up with Google. You'll be able to log in with Identikey.
Got it. Very cool. Actually, one last thing at the very bottom here, I see Y Combinator. Are you guys seeking external funding outside of the SOAR platform? And that's a good segue after this into like when launch, why SOAR, etc. But any relationship with Y Combinator? Are you guys seeking any sort of funding outside of SOAR?
No relationship with Y Combinator. We are currently focusing on the token launch with SOAR exclusively. We're not closed to other options, and we would consider funding from other sources, but our main priority is to get the token launch, get the product out, and stay small and lean for the near term, and just move fast. That's what we're doing.
And I think that's a really good bridge to kind of the token launch and everything. But before we go to that, I just had one last question. There's a name that popped up, Repligate. Any connection to Repligate?
Huge fan.
Love it. Okay, because I know he's very deep in the AI space, and I'm not as deep as you guys or him, but in researching different AI technologies and projects, his name is always coming up. So
we're big Opus fans from the past.
Yes.
So
yes.
Claude Opus, dear Opus.
But yeah, so I guess let's kind of just bridge into SOAR launch. Why SOAR? And I don't know when you guys are launching. I know that's a question popping up in the chat a lot.
Yeah, the win, is not specific and exact. As far as the token launch, that's going to be decided by SOAR experts and under the cloak of secrecy until the time is right. But it's real soon. And then why SOAR is a funny story, actually. Can I tell it?
Oh,
You think it's okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
of course.
we actually started with Believe, to be honest. Like a guy named Lucas caught my pitch
At Frontier Tower,
at
actually.
Frontier Tower.
Yeah,
Tower
There
at
you
a
go.
pitch.
we're very familiar with Believe.
Yeah, I know. I heard you
And-
guys earlier. Yeah, that was funny.
I think that was the first pitch we made publicly for
Yeah, yeah.
Morphist.
And just real quick, it's pretty just like kind of par for the course, and the like galactic alignment that has brought us here is like I went in there, I made the deck and the pitch like the day of the competition. I didn't enter it in time, and at the competition there was room for one more presenter. Somebody didn't come, and there were 3 of us that wanted to present, and they were like, "Hey, okay, you guys Rochambeau for who's going to present." And so I just saw the 2 young other founders, and I was like, well, I'll just take control of this. And I was like, okay, you guys go first, best 2 out of 3. And then I saw the pattern. And so then I obviously instantly won the Rochambeau after that with whoever won, because I knew where they were in the rock, paper, scissors. And I kind of am good at that game. And I gave the pitch, and a guy from Believe approached me afterwards, and he left the company eventually, and we met Nicholas at SOAR, and it was a chain of events that led us to the right
Yeah, there were a
partnership.
lot of good aspects about all of them, and I'm always attracted to Web3. My last couple companies have been in Web3, and yeah, and it just the vibes were not completely on. Like, we had good contacts, but then there was something about the different organizations that it didn't quite feel right. But then with SOAR, everyone we've talked to has been just so on and so like incentive aligned, and how do we make this successful, and helping us like define a narrative and things that
They're active, they're super available, they answered every question even when I asked 3 times. They were willing to talk with us through every little detail in the agreement and help us feel confident and comfortable that we're working on a mutual success model. And that was the deal maker for me.
So I guess my question is, why not just launch a token by yourself? Like, why not launch on something like, I don't know, Pump Fund for all, just for the sake of example, but why not just go and do something yourself? Why specifically, I know the vibes, we love the SOAR team. They're very, very well informed and very good team, but why launch a token with them? What specifically drew you guys?
Well, I mean, Duke's done it, we've done it, and we know the pitfalls and the ins and outs of a solo token launch, of like all different things. Why don't you?
Yeah, I mean, you really need a lot of support to make a token happen. I mean, honestly, it's all through community. But then how do you develop and feed that community? How do you make sure that the communication is happening in a good way? And then there's so many pieces. Like I've run it really is like you have to hold 10 or 20 things in your head at once and be responsible for all of them when you're launching a token, and make sure that the tweet goes out and is spelled correctly, while you're making sure that things are not crashing, while you're making sure that the servers remain up. It's like, it's the support that we were really hoping for. My background really doesn't include a lot of marketing and communication. I'm really, really good with technology. I can speak rather well, but like the kind of public, and it's like, just to have experts in my corner who understand this, who've been around the block before, and like they're introducing us to the right, like the market maker that we talked to, they're amazing. So yeah.
There was a question about if we said we've launched a token before. So no, Morphist has not launched a token before. I'm just referring to in our past experience in other projects.
Oh yeah, previous companies. I helped a
Like
DAO out.
Identity.
Well, Identikey never launched anything. But like, let's see, Resource Network was my last company that launched a token. This was on Celo in 2022. And yeah, we built a
Mutual credit.
yeah, it's a mutual credit economic network launched in Asheville, North Carolina, and had people actually exchanging using cryptocurrency that they themselves issued as part of the community. But they didn't even have to know that that was the case. It just looked like free credit. It was actually pretty awesome.
Where are
yeah.
you guys based now? You mentioned North Carolina. Are you in the Carolinas?
I'm in Berkeley.
Berkeley, California. Yeah.
Okay,
There we go.
Cali. Got it.
Got it.
makes sense.
So you guys have you haven't launched a token before. It's just been more so you've been in the space, kind of operating in some way. So you have some exposure. Mostly you, Duke, from what I'm gathering. But that's awesome. So you guys are looking at launching your token soon. We have a few kind of community questions we wanted to get to. One you see right now from Top Fumbler. How are they planning to monetize their platform?
Yeah, the initial software will be it's a subscription-based system. So a single subscription that gives you access to everything we're building and all models.
Nice.
Got it.
Yeah,
got it.
straightforward.
Yeah, we love simple, right? We love
So
simple.
I have to. Sorry, I didn't get to this. Like, when you say all models, I get a one subscription with you guys, and I have access to all the different models.
Not just the existing ones, but any new ones that come out. So you don't have to change or sign up for anything new. We'll just be offering new models as they appear.
How do you do that?
Yeah, how do you do that?
APIs.
We're wizards.
Yeah, it's true. My official title, is in previous positions has been wizard sometimes, and like it really is like you just make it happen. So every model, like yes, they have like a public face like the ChatGPT. You pay $20 a month, and you have like the Pro, but for developers, we go onto a different console. And we
Y'all got that free GPT out here.
Yeah, or you get the free one. Just remember, if the product's free, you are the product. Right, you get the API key, and then you're paying per token, and then you can build products that integrate ChatGPT or integrate GPT, like GPT-5. You can choose what model you want to use. So
you guys are paying per token basically on all these API calls.
Yeah, and it's part of the magic too, is that we because we do it via API, your identity, your login information is not shared with any of those platforms. So if you choose to sign into Morphist with Google, yeah, you're sharing with Google. But if you use Identikey, then you're using a system that's designed to obfuscate that from everyone without your explicit permission. And then you've not given anything to any of those models that identifies you, even though you're able to use them.
Got it. Okay. I did have a follow-on question about this specific thing. Oh, yeah. Do you mark up then the token request? Like, I guess, obviously you take a margin on top of that. So you're charging the user, $1 per token, but the token request costs 50 cents. Is that how it works?
I mean, since we're a flat subscription model, the actual curve and pricing is like a thing we're still working on. We have to model that, but we are charging a little more than we pay for sure to operate as
the unit economics. We still need to work out our models. I keep pushing for like the highest quality models available and a little more expensive, but Norbert really wants to make it available to everyone and at the same price point as something like ChatGPT. So, and it may be that we'll end up doing something like Cursor that gives you like an allotment for the different sizes of subscription.
There's a question here. Are you building your own AI model or using something that already exists and tuning it? I don't know if you want to elaborate. I mean,
right now we'll be using existing models, but we are already in partnership deals and talking with things I can't say too many specifics about for privacy-oriented models. And in our roadmap is our own, at least agentic model. I mean, in my dream, I would love to have a local running agentic model that is Morphist that then helps you orchestrate and manage all your connections with every other model.
Yeah, we have a lot on our roadmap. And I guess let me just say that I and the people who are in my professional crew have a strong background in racking and stacking servers, administering them, and even last summer deployed a ablated model ourselves. So that is in the cards, possibly.
Yeah, so the clear answer is out of the gate, it will be existing models, but we have big plans.
We got another question here. If you call OpenAI's API and send user queries over there, and the OpenAI still logs the user data in their data store, right? I think the question is, yeah, you guys are talking about privacy here. If you're routing through OpenAI, how do you guys keep it private? And then, yeah.
Right, we can't stop the data from going out to them to be processed. We can stop it from being associated with you and your identity in the background, and we can keep it locally so that it is yours, regardless of the fact that you have to give it to them in order to get an answer.
And that's one of the reasons we're talking to the private. So there's a couple of groups doing, actually they're doing a deployment right now at a undisclosed location. But they focus on encryption and privacy, and we're looking at how to actually integrate that. But honestly, the majority of people right now, including myself, are just going to want to click on Claude Opus 4.5 and have your conversation.
But yeah, it's a good point. We can't stop the data from being used for its utility, but we can what's the word? Not obfuscate. Make it pseudonymous so that like who you are is not associated with that data in any way.
Now, you mentioned earlier as well that people should be able to monetize their data how they see fit. Will these people will you guys create some sort of data marketplace at some point where people can go and add their identification to this data and sell it in some way?
I think that's more of an identity thing. I think
that it was when we start to do the kind of social feature set. And yeah, actually, yes.
So you can imagine using identity to manage your identity securely. I don't want to go too far into that. It's a whole other company, but you can imagine that Morphus is one tool that uses that, and anything that's generated there and inside the identity sphere could then use smart contracts and methods to automatically create usage agreements and charge a small amount when it's used.
Sweet. We got some more questions here, or actually maybe not. Just chat.
This one is kind of an existing one, but more. Is it curated on SOAR?
Yes, it's curated on SOAR, and it's soon. So I would, if I'm gonna say an estimated date, in the next few days would be what I think is safe for me to say.
Okay.
Pay attention, boys.
Got it. So
at the right time, they've specified that they're going to wait until the vibes are right, or that's not what they said, but that's how I interpret
the vibes are not bad. I mean, things are pumping like 10% today. Yeah. So
can we talk a bit about the roadmap? Give the people an idea of what's to come, what you guys are like heads down focused on right in this moment. And then, people invest and make predictions and bets on founders themselves. So maybe give us an idea of what you guys see in the future for this AI model and what you're building here.
Yeah, I mean, what we're heads down on right now is the beta. We're cranking, like when we're not doing launch and interviews and stuff, we are and it's another reason why we want a launch partner and why SOAR is so amazing, is it gives us the freedom to actually build product.
Just want to build.
so instead of launching token ourselves and doing all that minutia, we're able. They are really handling most of that, and it sets us free to build. So the beta, getting the community set up and ready so that as testing happens, we have like direct live communication with everybody, and we're able to integrate feedback from users.
Mobile app development is kind of painful. So, we're just going through it. We're kind of front loading the difficult parts. Because we've done, I've done server stuff forever, massive deployments, and we've done web applications forever. And so the other stuff I think is going to be is going to start falling into place pretty fast. But we want to get like our kind of flagship mobile app really looking and feeling awesome.
Love it. Love it. Anything you guys have? Chat, if you guys have any last minute questions, feel free to drop them now. I think we covered a lot of the bases here. Chill, Josh, anything?
No, I think I'm good. I'm looking through chat. They love you guys. They love you guys.
We love
God
them.
Project, God Devs are good, bullish, all the good things you love to hear. No, I think this has been an amazing conversation. I think this has been an amazing. This is a good question.
This is a great Daddy Duster. Marketing plans. Also, I don't think it was. Will the product be available first or the token be available first?
It's a
Both were
race.
days.
It's a race.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So what are some of these marketing plans to get this out here? BD wise, are you gonna do a lot of demos? Are you gonna have advertisements? What's like, I guess from that perspective, how are you pushing this thing to the mainstream?
I mean, full transparency. We are gonna build a badass product. We're gonna market in the small ways we know with Soar's help. Soar's giving us a ton of support in that regard. They're leveraging their resources and team to help us build out marketing and whatever.
Yeah, and we want to empower community. Like
Yeah.
this is about empowering ourselves and empowering each other. Like Web3 exists because of community, and like, right? We want to like the first opportunities. We want it's kind of like a natural grassroots kind of feel. Like we want this to be something that you can feel good about having it make a payment on your behalf, rather than like, well, I hope things stay good and no one has to, that the fact that this is stored on OpenAI servers will never be a problem. And this, like, I want people to be more comfortable using AI for things that you would, let's say, need a private conversation with a friend.
And just the TLDR for that is like, yeah, I agree with all of that. And for sure, our first hire will be marketing, 100%. Marketing manager and social.
Yeah, and videos, hype videos.
Well, our job is to tell some of your story, and so we'll push that out.
Yeah, I think otherwise it looks like we're good. The chat's not got anything left, and it was a good conversation. We appreciate you guys coming on here today, and best of luck. Excited for the launch.
Yeah, thanks so much. Really great conversation and happy to be here with y'all.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for having us.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you
Talk
so
soon,
much.
guys. Peace.
Can we put up Nick's comment as well?
Yeah.
Real quick.
Token is not live,
'Cause
guys.
Token is not live, and Nick's like, because they're really confident that this can't be sniped. They say, "Good luck sniping it, nerds." I love that.
I don't know what Soar is doing to prevent snipers, because Believe could never figure it out. Like they just could not figure it out for the life of them. So I'm not sure what Soar is doing.
Oh my gosh, look at this one. Top fumbler. Oh
Bro.
my god. That's so funny. Guys, we'll let you know when the real one's live. So just follow MCG live. We'll make sure you guys get it proper.
Bros, the market it just rug for 20 soul. Oh, it's crazy.
No, that's a light easy is that's funny.
Boogie, you were the first manual buy in the last project. How did that work out for you? What's the strat there? I've actually been doing so bad at buying these Soar launches like early. I'm totally like buying dips.
Yeah.
That's the play for me, regardless of platform. That's the play if you're launching on Meta, if you're launching anywhere. It's literally like launch. There's going to be launch day FUD. There's going to be a whole bunch of questions. There's going to be a lot of maybe snipers, maybe sellers, profit takers, traders, and then when everything calms down, I just slide on in there, nice and easy, like.
So pause. No,
big pause.
Gold
big
has
pause.
a question. Can someone answer Gold's question for him? Is it launching today? I don't know, man. I feel like how many times do we get asked this question? No, we don't know when it's launching. Soon, near future, a couple days. Here's the Boogie strat. According to Boogie, the first manual buy of the last one, potentially not believable, but the strat is to buy and pray and wait for Twitter confirmation. Oh, okay. Not a strat you guys want to follow. Wait, is it launching today? No, I don't think so.
Nick has some alpha for us. Alpha is to be in the SOAR Captain's Lounge, our community TG, because we will confirm the correct CA in there. Not launching today, by the way, but soon.
Nicholas, do I drop the TG link or anywhere? Like, how do people get in there? Do they have to DM you?
I thought the SOAR Captain's Lounge was pretty exclusive, man.
Yeah, I thought it was exclusive. I thought,
Yeah,
it was
man.
like,
Where I thought it was exclusive. You know
man,
what's going
that's
on? Here?
crazy.
We're letting Boogie in there. Come on. Just
Come on,
kidding.
guys.
I sniped the last launch DFTV and got 50 soul from it. Thanks.
Hey,
No, you
DFTV is
didn't.
cooking, man.
Yeah, DFTV is cooking. now.
DFTV, I lost 50. Was that 500 last launch? No, you didn't.
Dude, I love the troll. I love the trolls in the sending right now. I love the
Yeah.
trolls in the comments. It makes
These are
things
some
fun.
new friends of the show. I've not seen Max or
Yeah,
Light Easy.
Light-
So
Light
welcome,
Easy.
guys.
Need some
If
more
you are
activity.
watching the MCG stream, you are OG enough to get in the lounge. So you got to
That's
be an
the
OG.
truth. Ain't that
You
the
got to
truth?
be an OG.
Yo, yeah, Top Fumbler. If Top Fumbler's not in there,
Fumbler's
like,
got to be in there, right?
yeah, Fumbler's
Yeah,
gotta
gotta
be in
be.
there. I don't know what your TG is, Fumbler, but DM the MCG account. We'll make sure you are in there.
Hey, Max's comment. I'm not a friend, just here for some money. I love that.
Ban 'em. Kick 'em.
Hey,
Oh
everyone's
my
got to
God.
eat. Everyone's got to eat.
Everybody's got to eat. Hey, yo, I'm not gonna lie. Pump is looking very, very nice.
Pump is pumping.
Pump it up. You got to pump it up.
Pump it
Don't
up.
you know? Pump it up.
Pump it
Guys,
up.
it's been how many months or weeks with just down only to get a little green candles is like feels.
Oh, dude, it's
Are we in
refreshing, man.
Euphoria, guys? Are we? Is it?
Yeah,
is it top
we're-
in?
Is this
But
it?
where anger hasn't hit yet. We haven't. we
No,
haven't
it's about to be
angered it.
disbelief. It's about to be disbelief. I gotta pull up the
100%.
chart. I don't know. What's up, guys? I'm pretty chilling. I mean, market's pumping. Anything you guys want to cover before we?
Looking,
Sunset.
looking.
Yeah, I gotta
Let me
check.
see. Nothing.
Who's gonna
nothing
be in
really.
Breakpoint, guys? If you're in the chat, let's who's gonna be in, at Breakpoint in Abu Dhabi? We got some merch for you.
Look at Pepe, brick
Pepe's
by
out
brick,
here.
brick by brick, bro. Just getting your way
L-
back. I love it.
Love to see it, man. Love to see it. Happy that we're able to help. Honestly, you know, something I was thinking about, guys. Chat, listen to this for a second. For all of you that have been listening to MCG for months and months on end, I think it would be a great idea if we get you, some of you, on stream just for a quick interview, like 15, 20 minute, 30-minute segment. And we just kind of like interview you, like how you came across the show, the value that you see in the show, how it's helped you. Pepe, like we walked you off the perps ledge there a few weeks ago. Like I'd love to like have some of those interviews. I mean, maybe we can talk about that, but it's an idea I've had and just been kind of mulling over. in
While
my
we're
head.
at Breakpoint, Chill's gonna stream for 5 days straight, no sleep.
Guys, I'm about to hold this thing down. And I've
Daddy
spoke to
Duster. Sorry, go ahead. What were you
I
saying?
was-
Bob?
I would love that. I'd even dox the LinkedIn.
Beast.
That's crazy. Dude,
Uh,
look. I it's gonna be 5 days. It's just gonna be me. I've talked to Satoshi, I've talked to
Nice.
Vitalik,
Nice.
Toli.
Nice.
I've even talked to the boy Pasternak.
What about
We're
Richard
about to-
Hart?
No.
Yeah,
I
he's
even
a-
talked
he's a
to
little weird.
Alon, bro. I even talked to Alon. We're gonna pump it
Mm.
during Abu Dhabi. Okay, so just for the 5-day stretch, we'll be pumping the markets. There's gonna be a ton of opportunity. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be lovely.
Let's go, dude.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're good, boys. I think we're
I
good.
think so.
think we're good.
We're good. Let's see. I'm just I'm trying to see if
Plug
there's anything.
next shows.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Let me share my screen. We'll plug next shows and wrap it. Let me see here. All right, cool. Just share my screen and let me plug the next shows. Let me see if I can find this.
I love how A Kings is holding it down on YouTube always.
Yeah, man. King's mentality just out here, bro.
It's hilarious. We get like 3 viewers on YouTube and then like 1,000 plus on Twitter every day. And Kings is always here from YouTube. It's
Kings is
lovely.
always on YouTube. I love it. Yeah. of
Yeah,
course.
Andrew.
Joel
It's been going,
Berry
man,
deep.
Dobby. It's gonna be lit.
Yeah, it's gonna be lit. I think Chill opened a tab too many.
We're
back
losing
to-
Chill in MCG fashion and Chill lagging out fashion.
Kled, I see Kled hit the old buy box and nicely.
It's looking
up.
great, man.
Priced
Here.
in Soul, it even looks phenomenal.
Yeah, Kled's holding up nice, up 26% on the day. I can share my screen here. Well, we wait for Chill to figure it out. Yeah, Kled's looking good. I mean, came down to the zone. It really is reminiscent of what happened back here. Just like kind of slow, dead price action while the market was figuring it out. Same thing here. I'm not sure why the chart looks all buggy, but slow price action. I think we get a little bit of green. We get a little bit of consistent upswing in the market on a macro standpoint, and we probably reprice. 100 mil is legitimately a magnet for Kled. Legitimately a magnet for Kled. They raised at 100 mil about a month ago, I want to say. So, again, I think we have a value buy here. What we were talking about earlier is in times of fear, when the market is terrible, people go and look for value, and Kled is one of those value buys. Again, valueless until they have that tie to equity, but they are doing the equity anchor from Street Foundation. And even if they put 20% of that equity into the anchor, and Avi seems to be hinting at much more, you get a $20 million Kled. So this again is a value buy here. Think about the lowest you could go, or the downside rather than the upside, is how I look at that. So value buy for Kled. If you get some emotional sellers, I would potentially take advantage of it. Not financial advice. Chill, are you back with us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Apologies, guys, lagging as per the norm. Exciting week so far. Tomorrow we have Ranger Finance, the next
Nice.
MetaDAO project. We'll be having them on, and as you know, we've had Avicii, Umbra, Loyal, and the whole MetaDAO lineup. We've had them on, so happy to be able to host Cobra with Ranger Finance. Looking forward to that tomorrow. Then we have ICM Trader Radio with markets pumping. We should probably have some stuff in between Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Who knows when we'll get this SOAR launch? So we'll definitely be covering that over the coming days, depending on when they launch that. Thursday we have Foundational AI, and we have Cyber. We'll be talking with them. Friday we have friends of the show, Waterminder. We'll be interviewing Chris, and then we'll also be interviewing Fun Media. So lots to go over there. And then we have other friends of the show, Karma, neobanking protocol. We know Avicii has been going crazy. The whole neobanking narrative has been going crazy. That's been pretty hot. So we'll be exciting to interview them on when the market is actually pumping. So you want to follow us at live on MCG, at MCG Live. We're here Monday through Friday. We saw a lot of new faces today coming through. Even if you're just coming for the money, come through, man. Trade, put the stream on while you're trading. Just play us in the background. You might even hear something that you might be interested in. So follow us. We'll see y'all tomorrow and the rest of the week for more shows. You guys should cross stream on Twitch. So we can get some channel points. Yeah, we might do something like that. Let's see. But we'll see y'all tomorrow. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Trade safe. And we will see y'all soon.